welcome to Gorilla Radio number 200. And I didn't change that thing up there. 25.
25.
225. And it looks cool. I checking on the TikTok. It is live and it is vertical, so it looks like kind of nice. I don't know if you can see that, but we are finally here, State Week, and it's going to be a great week of wrestling, great week of articles, and I think I got caught up today, so hopefully with everything most of the stuff I wanted to do, so hopefully we can get all the fun articles and stuff out for everybody in the next couple days. Worked on the media guide, loved the media guide, some stuff there, and fixed up some 1940s wrestling profiles. So I'm sure people will be like, oh, yes, I've been waiting for that to be updated and changed. We get some random two different the same name for two different wrestlers, and like could not have been the same person. So I was fixing that up today.
Was that the one I caught?
No.
Oh man, when we were looking, I thought I did something right for once. Like, dang.
Which one was that? I probably don't even
when we were talking about like the dads and they had the same record. Remember?
Oh yes, I did fix that one. But some guys that had like they had a state placement from like 1942 and then 1957. So like that cannot be the same guy. There is one that's kind of interesting, and I doubt anyone watching will know, is Emery Nemeth. He's placed 4 times. It's like a unique enough name. He placed 4 times. Let me see if I'll do it exact. I'll tell you exactly. From East Chicago, Washington.
Ooh, calling Jim Watkins.
Yes, he placed in 42, 43, 45, and 46. Is what I have in my records. I got everything. He was so he technically was a state champion as a freshman, but so I have not found anything for 42 exactly to prove that he wrestled then. So I am
the Rough Riders, right? East Chicago, Washington Rough Riders.
Yes. No, Senators.
Who are the Rough Riders then?
I don't know.
Teddy Roosevelt, Rough Riders. All right, we got it.
Yeah. Man, where's all our chats? No one's here today?
Joe Stanley's in there watching. Shout out to my guy, Joe Stanley, holding it down. RDP set the record for most qualifiers in little history.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just talking about the regionals. Crown Point had just 33. It's Crown Point regional by far. Dude, they used to call it the Mooresville semi-state. They only got 23. They're kind of slacking these days.
Yeah, the Crown Point semi-state was 7. My fault. I undersold it. 7. The Crown Point semi-state was basically the semi-state the week before. We got to see a lot of the same guys, same champs. We kind of knew that, though. Obviously, there's a lot of talented wrestlers there. But 33, the splits were pretty bad. 33 for Crown Point, 10 for Hobart Regional. The Penn Regional had 9. 4 of those coming from Rochester, so thank God for Fort Wayne giving us Rochester. Or it could have been worse.
I'm clipping that. I am clipping that, and that is
that's true, man. It's the truth. Rochester holding it down for the Penn Regional, and 4 for Logansport. So if you took the under on the Logansport Regional, you would have made your money.
Is that 5? Is that your?
I think it's 6.5. Is it 5.5 or 6.5 for the taco bet? Yeah. We have to look it up, but so we're gonna petition Newcastle to give us Rossville so we can even some numbers out a little bit.
Hey, they'd like that because it'd be easier to qualify for team state out of there.
Yeah, dude. 33 qualifiers from Crown Point's crazy. Yeah. And it's not like it wasn't lost on me going in. We kind of talked about it last week with the when they were giving the numbers for the semi-states, and I was kind of just doing the brackets for every regional, and the amount of forfeits at a lot of the regionals is really bad, or a lot of sectionals is really bad. Yeah. And then as I'm looking at it, like, and there's a couple weights. I think the first weight we're going to start on tonight is a weight that I think a semi-state kind of got handcuffed a little bit. But I think a lot of the 5s a lot of the guys in the ticker, I don't want to say fives, because I think if you lose to a champ at the regional, you're probably not the five. Some of those 2-3 matches at the regional, I think those guys probably could have been in the ticket round at East Chicago too. At Crown Point. I know like a Dalton Robson was probably in the ticket round at Crown Point. He was a first round regional loser at the Crown Point regional. I think he's probably better than a lot of the guys that were in the ticket round at E. So
surprisingly, looking at all the regionals, there's only one regional qualified all four out of their semi-state. That was 144 at Crown Point.
Yep.
So
shout out to those guys, man. They're tough.
And they left a pretty good, like you said, is it Robson's the one that you
Robson,
guys left at home too, that is right in the mix to qualify also. So yeah, interesting to kind of look at the numbers. I should probably post these, maybe. I don't know.
We could do an article
on it. People can argue about the tougher sectionals and stuff, and then
Mooresville's still like, what are they, a 7 regional? Is it like is that what it goes 7? And Crown Point's only a 5, so I mean, like that's crazy.
Yeah,
it's been like that. I remember, and like I think at one point Logansport was like a 5 too. I think this was the great debate of what was that, 2019? The great debate of 2019.
Is that the year that we got the infamous video?
Bro, that was that was literally probably one of the greatest works of IndianaMat history. Was this video, and it fit so perfectly, and it's lost to the ages. I wish that we still had that video. That was so good.
Yes, it was. I don't even think I can recreate it. I mean, I would have to somehow find that video again, and because it was so good. Because and people still asking about it. That's like one of the best things ever.
That was great. That was like probably one of the best. That was probably one of the best things, honestly.
So yeah, we're gonna go over 150 and above, just like they're doing at States on Friday. I believe it starts at 2 o'clock.
So our first couple fans in the chat here probably not as happy with that.
Yes. There we go. So they probably already exited the chat.
Yeah. The two guys, like Eric's probably like, what about the girls? And also, why are we going to close with 44 tomorrow?
Yeah. We're starting at 3 o'clock on Friday. So Friday Champions is at 2:30. Gates open at 1:30.
I think I told him 9 a.m. I said, bro, you got to be there at 9 a.m.
Yeah. So 9 a.m. on Saturday is when it starts. So yeah, so it's and tickets, I guess, go on sale at noon tomorrow. So hopefully you're able to get your tickets and get in a good spot. So
the ticket
gate of and I guess there were some bracket gates going on. I don't know why. I think we just put all the gates and brackets and tickets. So
there's only one true bracket gate.
Yes.
There's only one. That's a legend also. Only one true bracket gate.
Yes, I actually was talking to a coach about that, and I was like, I verified everything. I'd never seen it before. I had never seen the formula for state on a piece of paper ever. And I was like, whoa, gold mine.
We were pioneers of the gates. I mean, I guess like Watergate was the actual pioneer.
Yes. Minor. So so a lot of great wrestling. We'll kind of go over some of the results as we go through. I was at Fort Wayne. I was hanging out. I had to keep Maligned away from the Jay County folks, so he hung out in the suite with me.
Man, that's cool. You guys get suites, so you just get the whole suite to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you get 16 tickets. I didn't use them all because I am picky about who I have to hang around with, but I did get some visitors from Muncie via Hawaii. Tell me how to pronounce names.
Nice.
So we'll talk about that tomorrow night. So
I was at Friday night. I went out to Rosemont and OC's college games with the extra innings. So I got in about 2 a.m. on Valentine's Day morning. Got to East Chicago about 8. I don't want to say boot it from the mic. I wasn't on the mic, so I was like splitting the mic, and then I was walking around, kind of talking to people. So like when you're and there's like different things, it'd be tough. Like, I mean, if you're like always on the floor, Like I've always been on the floor there. I've never really been in the bleachers, so I've never really like heard all the complaints. Right? Like I hear the complaints, but it doesn't apply to me because like I'm never really up there. But as I'm like walking around, it's and this might be the first time I said it's not really a good gym to watch high school wrestling. There's a lot of blind spots, and I do feel bad for parents. Like I get like I mean, I'm grateful that they're hosting it, but I also get that like it's in one of the furthest parts of the state. Like you're making teams drive incredibly far. I mean, I guess not as far as some of the Evansville teams, but the parking sucks. Like they do have some buses, but the parking sucks. And then dude, there's a lot of blind spots to watch wrestling in there. Like it was hard to see matches. And then security was kind of pushy. It's not super not yeah, like for a pretty new gym. I mean it has to be from like the 90s, right? It's hot in there. It's not like I don't know, man. It's security like was and I get they're trying to keep people off the railing because they don't want the mats to be blocked, but you really can't see the mats from where those people are seeing it at anyways.
Yeah.
I ended up leaving. I left like midway through the first round. Like I was like, bro, I'm not gonna like be on the mic and I'm not gonna like get asked a million questions. And I'm just yeah, dude, Phil's 100% right. Like, dude, people are trying to get down there to watch their kid. Like, dude, that's some kid's senior year. Like some of those guys are senior years and they're like, get out of here, move along. And dude, they're like not very nice. Like it was I think there has to be some of that too. And there's like one side that's incredibly patchy. You might be able to see all the mats. And I know like they're trying to like make it more viewer friendly. It's just not a gym that's like conducive to like high school wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I don't know. I mean, I've seen the pictures. And Carroll has a real nice gym, big gym, and even so, and they'll put formats out for sectional and 3 for regional. And they put it in but it's still kind of there are blind spots, and I could only imagine. It feels since I've been going to the Coliseum forever, I can only imagine.
Doesn't that suck though?
Out of high school,
doesn't that suck that like you guys have the Coliseum? Like that's like a cool event. That's at the stadium. Like that's awesome. Like Evansville has the Ford Center. We did state there. It's awesome. Yeah. And we have like a gym where people can't see and security's like rough. And the concessions, there's 2 concession stands. The lines are far, and the gate to get in was through the parking lot, and the parking's out. And I understand like no one took it. So I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it. And I know like I'm not complaining on the people that run it. They're doing their best, but like I just feel like it's such a tough watch. I've never watched it from the stands, but watching it from the stands on Saturday was really tough. It was a really tough watch, and I never really had to deal with the security. So like, so when those guys are saying, "Hey, you got to get out of here," and I'm like, "Bro, what if I step back?" And they're like, "No, you can't stand here. I can't stand next to this pillar. There's traffic coming through here. You need to move." And I'm like, "All right, bro, I'm not gonna like fist fight you up here, like to like not even watch my kid, you know." Yeah. So I thought that was tough. Security's tough. Concessions was tough. I didn't use the bathroom. I ended up leaving. But it's I don't know. I don't know the solution. And I know Johansson posted like, let's do it at Notre Dame. I don't know what the Notre Dame gym layout is, but I also don't feel comfortable giving like props to a school that dropped wrestling.
Yeah.
Like on some BS, right? Like like they can say that it was Title IX or whatever it is, but like you chose to drop it. You chose to like discontinue a sport in the 90s, and there's never been talk. There's been talk of like possibly Ball State doing clubs and stuff. I've never heard anything about Notre Dame.
Yeah, no. Notre Dame did have a club team. I do know that because one of the coaches at Carroll actually wrestled for them.
I do
know they had I don't know. Team. I always say that, but it's still a kind of a not a good. I don't think that's and who knows if they can host, if they're willing to, or if they have the floor space. So
yeah, I think Mackey's probably the best answer, honestly.
And I don't think Mackey's a perfect arena. It's probably better because you're gonna be able to see, but
probably have better parking, right?
Oh yeah, yes. I mean, it's gonna have enough seats. The only thing I can say about Mackey is I've been there for Big Tens, and it is a tight fit with formats. that's the only thing I can say. But I mean, they were trying to bid for state a few years ago. They actually put kind of in a late bid to push for that. It'd be yeah.
I think
When the Bears come to yes,
let's
yes,
go. I think yeah, it's just tough, man. It's a tough, and like I said, I don't have the answers for it. I really don't know.
because
Um,
Maryville wasn't any.
well,
Maryville, did they have the bad sight lines or not?
no, Maryville's sightlines weren't as bad. There was a couple spots like in the corners under the crow's nest where it was bad, but like I would give up my leg room. Like there's leg room at East Chicago. There is more leg room there than it was at Maryville. Maryville was a better like atmosphere, and it was it was a tighter fit. They're probably a couple hundred seats short of what they needed until the bottom bleachers came out. It was also hot, but but it was there was like because you had the sides, you could see from the sides. It was just like if you got into the corners, you really couldn't see as well.
Yeah.
But man, it was tough. It's tough. I don't know the like I said, I don't know the answers, but like I'm just saying that like going there and watching it as just a fan,
Mm-hmm.
like where like we've heard complaints over the years, and I'm like, dude, I'm on the floor, so it's I can see I can move around a little bit more, I can see a little bit better. But watching it as a fan, I can understand why people like don't like it, and I feel like if you're going there and it could be your kids, like that could be the highlight of their career. Like obviously we both lost at semi-state. Like I don't know if my parents cared to like watch it, but they were there at least, you know. But they were like some of these guys, and they're being told like get off the like they were saying like get off the rail. Like it's bro, like that might be it for them. That might be the only time they get there. That might be their match. And you don't have like the common decency to be like, hey man, I get it. Like, can you just move a little bit out of the way so everyone else can see? But like, watch your kid wrestle.
Yeah.
But it was very much and there's like one side where people stand, but it's like completely packed, and I don't know. It's tight on the floor, like getting in there. They have like my brother's like working security, so he's not letting people get through behind the first table. He's a real jerk.
Was he actually working security, or did he just wear a shirt with the
Bro, no,
security on it?
Security, but bro, he's a by the letter of the law guy. I'm sure some people try to get past and he wouldn't let them go back there. I know he told me a couple of people that like try to get through and he wouldn't let them go. Tony's a letter of the law. If you tell him this is the law, he will protect the law at all costs. Doesn't matter. He's a man of the people. So then I went home. We had a party for Kim's 40th birthday. I talked about it on the Dane and Rex show last night. Huh?
She's old.
40, yeah. Time to upgrade. So I'll be in Indy next week. Hit me with a number. No. Oh, and then, don't cut that one. Cut that out. And then we'll have we had people over. I watched OC's college games, and then the IHSA has done a phenomenal job, and everyone's going to complain with WrestleBacks this week and all this stuff, and they've done a phenomenal job because coming home and watching all 4 semi-states for $15.
Yeah.
And you can keep that semi-states and you can watch them all was phenomenal. I can watch every match. I was able to catch all the. I'm not going to lie to you. There wasn't a lot of like tick around matches at East Chicago that was really like, let's go, right? Like there was like a lot of like, oh, that's going to be an interesting one. I went home and watched some of those Evansville, the Fort Wayne 57 match. I wanted to go see those matches. Tony did tell me he did not let David Longoria pass through. That was one. He did tell me that.
I need to hire him for IPO.
Dude, he's tough, man. He's I'm telling you, he's a letter of the law guy. I just say he did a phenomenal job. I'm sure you can still buy it. But dude, like going there and watching the matches, and I'm a fan of the entire sport, right? I'm an entire Indiana guy. Like I don't have as many like ties as I did. Like obviously there's people I like. But like at the end of the day, I wanted to see that Parker Reynolds Dressler match. I wanted to see Rio and Schaefer. I was able to see it. Evansville was behind us for some reason, which is weird. So, well, you guys got passes, man. You guys, I had to give him the list of people I let through. Nah, he's getting old, man. He got bad eyes. He might have thought you guys were kids.
Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I was able to watch a little bit. I did buy it and I was watching. I tried to, but when there's wrestling in front of you, or you're gonna have to. So yeah. Anyway. So yeah.
Yep. Moving on to the brackets. That was my first rant of the night.
First of four.
But in reality, thank you, Joe. You guys were so kind to allow Rochester to come and try to even out these brackets at the semi-state.
Yes. Okay, let me see if I get this on there. Oops. There we go. That's better. State brackets.
We're starting at 150.
Yes. 150. I need to zoom in a little bit.
And shout out to my guys. I know I got a little bit of a hard time too. I was doing these write-ups at work for the East Chicago semi-state, and then when the actual East Chicago semi-state write-up came out, I stopped at 150. They asked me if they were going to stop the tournament and let me finish 57 through heavyweight. So those things took like an hour long, man. I thought they were pretty good.
Yeah, it takes a while for those little write-ups. So check out our brackets. We do have the rankings on there. And if you scroll down to the bottom, no one said anything about this, which kind of makes me sad. But I have, since we put all of their state credentials on the same line as them, I had an extra space. I'm like, what about if I put wins versus the field? And no one said anything about it.
Pretty good.
Sad.
Well, I think you're trying to rig a pick'ems, man. You're giving people too much information now. It makes you worse at the pick'ems.
I know. Because you know what? I didn't even do the semi-state pick'ems. I just blew my mind to do them until like wrestling was starting. And I'm like, oh, I didn't do my pick'ems. So I was like, I'll give someone else the chance to win. You know, I the goodness of my heart, I'll do that. So, so we are going to start at 150, top of the bracket. I'll let Mike talk about this because I talked about it all day yesterday.
Yeah, man. Also, congratulations. You did a really good job, man. I thought it went really smooth. I was really happy, man.
Thank you. It's always we get there, you get the brackets, and now you're in, thankfully we talk about it for 12 hours the previous week, but that's also, there's some storylines you want to kind of mix in. You don't want to really project too much. Like, oh, there's the crown point versus.
It was Wise. It was Josh Wise that told me to stop it at 150.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty. I mean, try and say things about everybody and stuff, and then it's a lot to digest pretty quickly, and sort out, make sure you're saying the right things. Started out, I'd say there's a couple times where I made some minor mistakes, I guess, but anyway, it was fine. I think everyone liked it, and I think it's a great thing that they do that.
Yeah,
it's the only one in the country that does a bracket reveal show like that, and I think it adds some hype, adds some storylines, adds.
It's like someone had the foresight and emailed it to them one time.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, they. I think they really. I think they. From what it sounds like talking to them, they love that show, and it does a lot of views and everything for them. And I would almost say it probably does as many as, basketball and football and stuff.
Not Guerrilla Radio though.
Most wrestling fans are watching the whole show and not just, oh, I'm gonna wait for 138 and jump off. I'm gonna watch the whole show because I'm a wrestling fan. And I want to know, I know there's some potential crazy draws. So I think the length of the viewership is probably a lot longer in wrestling than the other sports. Just my unprofessional opinion. So I'm actually going to hide the chat here.
Starting at the top of the bracket here.
Yep. Top of the bracket. Go ahead. Clinton Shepard versus Sam Wolpert. 1-24. Unranked Caden Rogers. And number 16, Caleb Kirkpatrick. Caden Rogers wasn't even in the sectional brackets to begin with. Kind of got heard grumblings that he was going to wrestle, and he obviously did. But if he's not in there, we could have probably threw him in the brackets or in the rankings. I just never really felt comfortable doing that, and he punches his ticket to state. He's a pretty good wrestler, obviously.
Yeah, he's really good. I'll start at the bottom part. Thank you, Cathedral. I know they told us at one point he was coming back, but then he wasn't in the sectional bracket, and then he jumps in and makes my numbers look a little bit lower than they need to be. And that's a good match.
We'll do an asterisk on that. It's 203.
He would have been ranked. He would have been in the rankings if he was healthy or he was in the original one. So that's a good Friday night match between two solid squads, well coached teams. Rogers 9-1 took his first loss to the semi-state. Kirkpatrick wrestling really well. Both of those guys do pretty well at the state finals. Cooper and McGinley. I think they're winning records. I'm sure. Who do you want your corners got to come out? Yes. I think McGinley probably has the top. Is he still the top winning percentage?
I think Snyder might have overtaken. I know him and Snyder were real close, and I think Snyder's they went 8-0, 8 or 9-0 last year. So I think that might that helps your percentage really a lot.
So that'll be a good first round matchup. The top part of that, Sam Wolpert, qualifying for state as a senior, 35-12. I know he's been in and out of the rankings his entire career. That's a tough draw, right? You get Clinton Shepard, 34-1, one out of state loss, one of the top guys pound for pound in the state. I mean, I don't know. We were talking about it. Someone called me today and they were just asking about Indiana wrestling, guys that would be wrestling college. And they were just asking me what the pound for pound, where I would put people at. And Shep has to be right up there. So that's a tough draw. I didn't think it happened, but, that he's a 1 for a reason. He's defended that 1. You can look at his wins versus the field, and it's very clear why he's number 1.
Yeah,
and I guess the Shepherd family and the Newell family have puppies that were brothers, so they have a lifelong kinship now.
Nice. Next quarter bracket: Dylan Ogg, Adams Central, won semi-state for the second straight year. Last year was not a good Friday night for us. He's coming back. To get this, he has number 23, Marquel Shelton from Maryville. Number 9, Marcus Malone. Number 11, Hank Fennessy. Should be a great match. I believe they wrestled earlier in the year.
They wrestled Al Smith, I believe, right?
Al Smith.
5-1 win for Malone. We'll start at the bottom part too. Fennessy Malone will be a good one. Again, two well-coached teams. Center Grove did a really good job Saturday. Obviously, as you're watching things unfold, you're seeing them win the Evansville semi-state. You can follow along on YouTube and watch how they prepare and some of this. Coach Swain had me fired up at the regional in his speech. I thought they did a good job of capturing some of that stuff. Marcus is really tough. I believe he's the only person. Oh, he got tech fall twice. He went the longest at the Al Smith with Shepard. So a lot of those, look, he teched Tommy Gibb in 5:23 and 5:39. He teched Marcus Malone in 5:13 and 5:28. So Malone's wrestled really well this year, coming up a couple weight classes. We talked about the Evansville semi-state show. A guy that I thought was going to wrestle 13 last year. And then he's not going to be a 13-pounder. Hank Fennessy returning state qualifier. That's going to be a good match. That's one of those ones that Center Grove's going to want to grab for team points. But also, I think Fennessy's, with the state experience is going to be big there. Dylan Ogg, returning qualifier. Markel Shelton. If you're Maryville, it's probably the one that you would want to hit. Obviously, you're a state champ.
Complimented Fort Wayne 2 minutes ago. Now you're saying you want to draw the Fort Wayne ones.
Well, he couldn't draw Clinton Shepard, so I'm sure he's excited about that. And he didn't draw Tommy Gibbs, who's a Fargo All-American. And he didn't draw Gunnar Butt, who's a multiple-time state medalist. So if I had a pick of the 4, and this is no disrespect to Dylan Ogg, hey, love Adams Central, go Flying Jets, I'm picking the guy that doesn't have a medal, right? Yeah. Personally. With that being said, Dylan Ogg is incredibly tough, 43-2 on the season. Returning state qualifier. I'm sure they're going to have him ready to go. Coach Maldonado does a great job. So does Adams Central. I think that top half bracket, there's a lot of well-coached teams there, a lot of tradition. I think that's going to be kind of an underlying statement of the entire the field. A lot of the really good teams did really well at the semi-states.
Yeah. The one cool thing, and this is probably something we're going to probably overly state as we go through the brackets, is the team race is going to be nuts.
Yes.
I I will give a plug. If you check out the Aether website, you can do your own brackets. You can, do it by winning by record, by whoever won their semi states, and then you can do by like rankings, and then you can do by rankings, and you can like change it. And I ran it with team scores, and I'm seeing there's so many ifs. There's
Oh,
so many.
yeah.
I mean, Marcus Malone could run at the semifinals here. He could also lose Friday night.
Yep.
And there's a difference between 12 points and 0 points, a big difference. And I'm looking at like, do I run him to the semifinals? Does he just run it to fifth or whatever? And we see this. We'll see this throughout the brackets, and that's one thing that I noticed going through. There's going to be a lot of Friday night matches that I think right now, based on kind of based on rankings and kind of where people are in the brackets, I think Center Grove on paper right now looks to be a little bit of the favorite. I think also Brownsburg is in the mix. I think Brownsburg has a little less volatility in their lineup of their guys. There's two guys that I'll say, Landon Haynes and Lucas Day, they could both get into different places on their bracket. They could lose Friday night, or they could run it to semifinals or fifth and score total of 10 to 20 points, and that's going to be huge for them. Their other guys are going to be in the finals. I mean, that's how Brownsburg is right now, which they have pretty much they don't have very much volatility. Crown Point, on the other hand, and we'll talk about this, they have a lot of Friday night matches that are toss-ups. They're guys that they've lost to, or they're 1-1 with. So it's going to be but they have some other guys that can possibly run it to the semis or finals, or might lose in the quarters. So it's a run that Aether thing. It's pretty cool because you can see how many where the team points lie, and it's going to be fun. I hope everyone comes out. I hope they're all dead even Saturday morning, because I think then that'll be even more fun. So as long as possible, I want them all, the three. I mean, and even I want to even say like a Lowell. I mean, they have three hammers that could be winning if they pull a couple other guys through, and they ended up, they're in spots where they might be able to add some points.
So, I agree with everything you said. Ditto.
But we'll be talking about that. We'll be hopping on there. I think Center Grove's probably thinking, hey, we're in a good spot here. We can run it to the semifinals.
And
I mean, and that's not saying that, taking anything away from Fennessy or Og or Shelton. That's a spot I'd want to be in.
Yeah, so. The same thing I said about Markel Shelton, Dylan Og. And dude, this is no disrespect to Adams Central. I was on the Adams County, the heart of Indiana wrestling last night. But you're looking at a Gunnar Butt who has 3 medals, a Clinton Shepard who's nationally ranked top 5, right? And Tommy Gibb, who's a returning state champ. If I had to pick a champ, it's not a disrespectful thing. Yeah. That's just that to be the numbers, my friend.
Yeah. So it should be good. We'll be harping on. I mean, I'm gonna probably print out brackets, just highlight matches that I'm like, this is, and just keep a tally. It's gonna be interesting. I'm gonna probably maybe do some things with that. So going down, and another thing I will say, after going through the brackets, especially getting them first, and the 1s and 2s and the big matches, the big ones that you'd want to see, Gibbs and Shep, clearly 1s and 2s right now. I think the Gibbs and Butt match might be pretty good, but I agree. I think that should be a good one. A lot of what I would consider finals matches are the big ones that we were pointing out. The Howard and Mikey White, and I'm going to say there's some other ones I can't even think offhand, but it looked like
Staples.
Yeah. Kincaid, Staples. They're separated, and this is probably one of the better separations I've seen for a long time, because it seems like it's a 50-50 shot whether the matches we want to see, the matches I'm looking forward to, you're looking forward to, the fans are looking forward to. It looks like they are they're in the right spots. So Tommy Gibbs, Brownsburg, returning state champ. He has August Galather, another unranked wrestler. Hagerstown, congrats Hagerstown. Only a sophomore, so would love to see Hagerstown represented at state for a couple of years. It's always good to see the programs like that having success. RJ McCoy, Lafayette Jeff, Dallas Davidson, Angola. McCoy has a little bit of secret sauce. His dad's from Butler. Some old NECC rivalry. I heard he made a special trip to Butler at the McDonald's this past weekend. Just saying. It's not confirmed. I have not seen the video evidence, but some rumors from some people in Butler. They saw his dad in Butler. So watch out for him.
Yeah. And shout out to Tom Miller getting a qualifier there. We talked about the Chicago show. I know. I think it's been a little bit of time since the last qualifier for Jeff, right?
Two of them.
Got two of them. Yeah. So that'd be a good one. Obviously, 19-21. Davison, 39-2. Solid for Angola. They got a pretty good toboggan run, right? That's the
same place. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I took a shot in the dark. That'd be a good one. And then shout out to August Gaither. I did not have. I'll tell you if I had him ranked or on the watch list. I did not even have him on the watch list. So don't rankings aren't everything, man. Congratulations. Yep. Tommy Gibbs gonna be tough there. I think for Tommy Gibbs, that's a lot of smaller schools that probably aren't general powerhouses all the time. But if you're August Gaither, you have nothing to lose, man. Go shock the world, and then RJ McCoy and Dallas Davidson, try to wreck shop Saturday morning. Throw your mix in the team race. If you guys go out there, you're gonna have a lot of people cheering for you. Whoever wins that match, there's gonna be a lot more different color T-shirts than the black and red, or what's Angola, purple and silver, the Hornets,
purple and blue, or yellow, purple and yellow.
Purple and yellow. You guys are gonna have a lot more people cheering for you guys because there's gonna be a lot of people wanting to see Brownsburg guys go down. And if you're Center Grove or Crown Point, a lot of red shirts, I guess.
Yeah. Red's going to be cheering for you. So, this should be. I mean, Brownsburg's looking for bonus points in this. I mean, they're going to try to where they're going to hope to maybe catch up a little bit or make it interesting is some bonus. Gibbs bonus point machine. He's going to look to get those extra bonus there. Last quarter bracket, Eshingoni returning state qualifier. I just say messed up these brackets. Like this bottom it screwed me up all weekend. Because I'm like, Goni what? No. So Goni Cowan qualified for the second straight year. He came out of a 4 seed at regional.
And I believe he
down 10-0 and end up winning.
Was he defaulted down to 4 at the regional, right?
Yeah. So he has another tough young guy, Joe Pawn. That should be a real good, 2 smaller schools, two programs are always. Cowan's just a recent program, but Hanover did a real good job. I saw they qualified 5 guys.
I believe that was the record for them also.
That's awesome. So Cowan there, that should be a good Friday night match. Pawn's, I think Pawn is going to be a really good one to watch for the next 3 years after this year. I don't want to. I'm trying to find a good comparison. I know one, but I think that's a little bit too high of a comparison. But I think I see a lot of that freshman of he's losing to Shepherd every week. He's just following him along, and I think he's gonna be real good.
Yep.
Bottom match, a 3 and a 4. Gunner Butt looking for his 4th state medal. I know that's a very small group of people. He has Cohen Long returning 8th place finisher, so that's going to be. Long ended up getting 4th at Evansville, not the number 1 he wanted. I can tell you.
I agree with that. And I know, even though Eric told everyone I have a Crown Point tattoo, I don't. I do not. But
just a backpack.
Just a crown. I do have a Crown Point backpack. But I think Evansville is obviously in a lot of good spots there. But that'll be a good one. 2 guys with medals, a junior and a senior. Butt's having an amazing career. He's had a great year, but he's having an amazing career. I'm sure he's going to be looking to get to the semifinals, but also you can't. You're not looking past a Cohen Long. And that quarter bracket, that's a really tough one. You got 3, 4, 6, and 10. So, 4 top 10 guys. And it's not top 10 because and I just like those guys better. But you have two guys. Jim Tantas said
He said they've never had more than 5, and they got 6 this year.
it says sick, but I get what he's saying there.
Yeah.
so,
So
yeah, Franklin. And we're gonna talk about Franklin in the next page. But man, a lot of good years for some really good programs. Same teams that are like we're talking about here. There's a lot of guys represented at the team state also.
So speaking of, and I have the data. I'm getting all the media guide around. How many do you think 4-time medalists there are in the state of Indiana in the history
all
of
time, including champs?
Yeah, and anyone that has 4 state medals.
Man, I'm gonna go.
Put it in the chat. I'll come back in 10 minutes.
Okay, no, I'm not answering.
Actually, I'll go at 10 p.m. my time.
Can we do it over under? If I give out a number right now, can you give me an over and under?
I'll text it to you, but I'll send a T-shirt to whoever gets closest without going over of the number. So you go ahead with your guess, and I'll text you the how close you are.
I'm gonna say
if I can find your phone.
47.
47?
That's what I'm guessing.
Okay. So I responded there. Ooh, man, 4-time placers only 37. Interesting.
I said 47.
They're going way under you.
I went 47, but
they got 37, 39.
Oh, in the chat. I don't got the chat on mine.
Okay, good. That keeps you out of trouble. So, okay. Where we go? We are going
to 157.
157.
I have some thoughts. I have some outside the box thoughts here on this bracket too, and I have some interesting, possible rumors too.
Yeah. So this is a good bracket. This is another one. A lot of team implications right off the top. Jeffrey Hybert, New Prairie, looking for his 4th state medal. Speaking of, he has Tyler Sandusky, Franklin Central. We've talked about him. Really good move for him, and I think he's had a really good senior year. Obviously, you don't want to finish 4th anywhere. Tough match. Evan Oglesby, Mechaniqua. I think they've had state qualifier for like 6 or 7 straight years.
Congratulations to Mechaniqua.
So they're doing a pretty good job over there, and that's pretty impressive. Then William Vanderlugeren, number 3 in the state, rematch of the Al Smith finals, possibly in that quarters for a lot of team points.
Yeah, that was a really good match too. Evan Ogilvy's had a really good year, so I'm not going to overlook him. 34-2. But William Vanderlugeren taking his first loss in the semi-state finals. Has had a really good season. He has a win over Hybrid. He has 2 wins over Parker Reynolds, who we'll talk about in a little bit. Has probably one of the most improved guys in the state, I would say. I don't know if it's improved or he's just wrestling the way he's supposed to. I think he's jumped around weight classes in his career, kind of like Sean Breedlove, just being in a tough lineup. But he's wrestled really well. Tyler Sandusky, dude, shout out to you're 100% right because, man, the Evansville semi-state at 57 is nasty. And I was talking to someone today that the top, I think, 7 of the top 8 or maybe 8, if you put those guys in any other semi-state, minus a couple of the ones, they'd probably punch a ticket. They'd be favorite to punch tickets, right?
Yeah.
Like you're talking Cooksey lost to who we're going to talk about in a second. Tante, you're talking about Parker Reynolds, a defending state champion. Cale Bonenbarger, who had a really good match in the ticket round, who's had some really good wins. He beat the semi-state champ this year, Dressler. So you're talking about 3 guys right there. I forgot who the 4th one was. So, forgive me, whoever Caleb Cooper beat.
Yeah. Cooper should be on the bracket.
But an incredibly tough semi-state, and Tyler Sandusky was in that semi-state. So not that I don't know why he moved to Franklin Central. Like it might just be like, hey, like we got a better mortgage rate. I don't know, but it worked out for him. But he has a tough one Friday night. Jeffrey Hybert's really good kid, good program. I think that match at Al Smith was a really good match. I know he was kind of dealing with some injuries at that point. Will Vanderlugeren has probably a top 5 gas tank in the state. Like if you're wrestling him, he's going to go at you for 6 minutes plus. and like I said, he's improved a ton. So could be, like you said, it could be a big one. And Jeffrey Hyvert, I mean, Newberry's going to have some horses too.
Yeah,
So, but like you could have a lot of guys that's not. I mean, more red dogs and purple dogs cheering for Jeffrey Hyvert.
yeah, that's gonna, and it was a good match. And I think, and we've alluded to it. It didn't look like Hybert was healthy. And I mean, there's some things that he just didn't look like he was 100%. And you said you saw him this weekend or last couple of weeks, and he's looking good. So that's gonna be a great. I mean, team points. I mean, that's all you gotta say. There's some big team points. Vanderleek Aaron could run it to the finals, or he might be going for fifth. That's that's a big difference in points. I can tell you exactly approximately how many that is.
And he's one of their leaders too.
That we do.
he's one of the guys in those videos you see him being the most vocal. He's one of their leaders. So
yeah,
maybe he's just good on camera.
Yeah,
I'm not the leader of IndianaMat, but I do a good job doing this.
Yeah, it's about a 15-point difference between first and fifth. So that's good. That'd be enough to knock, let another team take over. So going down, Jacob Weaver, Rossville, undefeated, 2-time state qualifier, looking to continue the Rossville reign under the lights. He has Anthony Bustamante, another returning state qualifier. Caleb Cooper making his first trip to state. He has number 1, Lincoln Carter, took his first loss this past weekend to Jackson Bradley in a good match. So we knew 57 was just going to be loaded, and it's just going to, I don't even know how or what you do to try to seed this, but it should be another great quarter bracket.
Yeah, Weaver with a huge win out at Newcastle over Jack Davis. So that was 8/6. Put himself in a good spot there. Undefeated. Good family. Super good family. Bustamante is another guy that's really improved this year. Maryville didn't have the 3rd and 4th place matches. I'm sure they won it. I think they had a lot of 4s. I believe Rashad Nelson, Bustamante, Markel Shelton. Obviously, the first 3 we talked about, or the first 2 we talked about, ended up being 4s. When you come out as a 4, you put yourself in a tough spot, right? Like you got to show up in that 3rd and 4th place match, whether you felt like you were going to be in the finals or not. It hurts, right? But that's a tough one. Shout out to Caleb Cooper, lost to the regional last year. Really tough, deep regional, and then wrestled back, punched his ticket this year for the Olympians. Coach Cooper does a great job. Lincoln Carter's tough, man. We talked about him all year. He's the number 1. That was a match I was really excited to watch. Jackson Bradley, Lincoln Carter. So he's going to be looking to get back to the semifinals. But 57's one of those ways you can, run every day and get different guys. So I wouldn't sleep on Cooper. I know those guys prepare well, but also Lincoln's pretty tough.
Yeah. So going down the bottom half bracket, kind of one of the big stories of the day, Gibson Southern's Deacon Dressler pulled out, a big upset. I mean, not a huge upset, 11 over 4 or 5 in the ticket round. And then ends up running it to the championship there in a good weight class in Evansville. He'll have Charlie Farrote, Belmont, only a freshman. Jack Davis, number 6, returning 6th place finisher and returning qualifier against returning qualifier Zach Kenny of Griffith, 6 and 9. And so that should be another quarter bracket that I wouldn't surprise me if none of the champions make the semifinals. I'm gonna say, I wouldn't be flabbergasted here if none of the champions made the court semis here, because this is such a deep weight class.
I agree. The professor wanted us to note top part of that bracket, all seniors.
Yes.
Deacon Dressler, amazing day. Avenged a couple of losses. I know he lost to Reynolds. I don't believe he lost to Vanderleek Aaron, but obviously he avenged a loss the week before to Bonenbarger, or maybe at conference to Bonenbarger. So Charlie Farrote, unranked. I do not believe he was on the watch list either. So shout out to the Braves. Obviously, the Farrote name carries a lot of weight there. Jack Davis, real tough. We talked about him doing the double dip over the holiday tournaments. Zach Kenny, 34-6. A lot of those losses are to Hyvert. I know they hit a couple times this year. He's tough. He's a bigger. I think he's a bigger 57. He's pretty scrappy, man. Obviously, his coaches are in the chat right now. I know Davis is a strong kid too, but that would be a really exciting match on Friday. I mean, 6-9, and then the winner gets possibly Deacon Dressler coming off a huge semi-state championship.
Yeah. So going down, you got unranked Griffin Ablin from Crown Point versus 13 at Title 11. Cathedral, returning state qualifier. Jackson Bradley, semi-state champ. Another guy looking for his 4th state medal. He has Micah Tante Franklin, who had a pretty good win in the ticket round. That's good. You can't overlook a Tante kid. I mean, that's not a name. That's not a 4 you want, especially when you see a Tante. You got Tante and Bradley. You got the Perry Meridian / Warren Central / now Franklin getting name versus the Cowan / Muncie South name. So a couple of good families that I like a lot.
Yeah,
and they're gonna be battling on Friday night, and they're gonna be. It's a number one. That's a tough family. They're both tough families, and they're both very big wrestling heavy families.
Man, we got to pause right now. I got to address the elephant in the room. I did it twice in my career. I overlooked the Monrovia team again when we were doing our semi-state stuff. I got on tilt. We did it late. We were going to do ticket round matches. We went favorite Evansville wrestlers. My guy Ben Dalton. I didn't put him on my list. Always overlook it more. Monrovia. Terrible on me. How could I forget the Bandit? So we need to redo my bracket. I'm putting Bandit number 1. So. Back to our scheduled program here. So shout out to Benny.
Sorry, Bandit. Please forgive us.
Top part of that quarter bracket. Tyler Levin's really tough. Like, he's a dog, man, and obviously he's a wrestling dog. But that's kind of funny. I didn't mean to do that, but he's the guy we talked about at Al Smith last year, just beat up, gushing blood. He's really tough. He had a fall over Jim Ablin's Griffin's dad. He wrestled at Lake Central. He coached in Hanover Central. But dude, Ablin had to win a lot of tough matches to even get in the lineup there. Like, that was like winning those wrestle-offs. If you go back and look at some of Crown Point's, and then he was able to stabilize that weight and win that. He's been in the rankings at some point. That's a good Friday night matchup between Cathedral and Crown Point. If Crown Point could probably sneak one through there, I'm sure that's some points that they would love to get. And Ablin's kind of been like obviously he got teched instead of getting pinned at the team state. Saved him a point. And they ended up winning by 2. Yeah, you hit it on the head, man. That bottom part, Jackson Bradley, Micah Tante, an incredibly tough freshman. We seen him against Cooper at the duel. What happened? And Jackson Bradley, man, really tough. His only loss is out of state. The Carnahan with a Jackson Bloom, right? Jackson versus Jackson Crime.
It was not Bloom, but somebody else, yes.
But me and when Isaiah Bradley won a state title, me and AJ Bradley hung out the whole night, partied it away. He told me he woke up the next day in Muncie. He doesn't know how he got there. I'm sure that I told AJ if he wins, we're running it back. I'm a little bit older, a little bit wiser, but I'm probably the age AJ was when he won when Isaiah won the title. So
yeah,
if he could do it then, I could do it now. But a very interesting thing now. A very non-confirmed rumor that may or may not happen. The alternate in this bracket with Dressler's winning the finals is the defending state champion Parker Reynolds. If there's an injury, which I don't know how everyone came out, I've heard some rumblings here or there, that he gets pulled back in. We could have a Jackson Bradley Parker Reynolds Friday night match. And I don't know, I know Parker's dealing with some illness. I don't know if he'll even be able to wrestle. I don't know how. I talked to them today. It sounded like he's pretty sick. But with that being said, that'd probably be one of the most Parker Reynolds career things that I've probably seen, right? Last year gets an accident, wins the title, gets pulled back in, wrestles the number 2 guy as a defending state champ. He might be one of the best alternates we've ever had. But he would still only be a state participant in the book of the Maldonados.
But if he places, does that replace that he becomes a state placer then?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it does. I think he just became a state participant that placed. It's an asterisk. It's an asterisk forever.
Yeah, you have to ask them. The Book of
I
Maldonado, is that the Bible of
Yeah, that's
Northwest Indiana
of the
wrestling?
region, man. You did the show. You seen how it went. Blake Crosby, thank you, Casey. He remembers the match.
Yeah.
But I don't know if any of those guys are pulling out. Like I said, like everyone's dinged up at this point. All those guys punched a ticket. They're pretty excited. But I just thought that was kind of a crazy scenario. I actually texted Josh that today. I said, "Hey man, you might want to stay close to weight. Like you're the alternate." He said, "What do you mean?" I said that like because he lost because Dressler won. If one of these guys misses weight, they're injured during the week. If someone gets sick, you get pulled in. He said, "And what spot do we go in?" I said, "You do Wrestle Jackson Bradley Friday night." So,
Yes.
and he's like, that'd be crazy."
Yeah, so that'd be interesting. That would be high drama. I mean, I can only imagine both of our phones will just be blowing up. Maybe we need to go to weigh-ins. Get there early just to see if anything crazy goes on. So
Yeah, I think now does it happen? No, who knows? Probably not. I would say it's a 98 to 2%. I just thought that was kind of a cool coincidence.
yeah. The one time we had a kid that he lost to Yorktown kid. And the one that wrestled they wrestled Cersus in the finals in a real close match.
Devin Jackson.
Evan Jackson. He lost to him in the ticket round, and he was pulling a little bit of weight. And Fielding goes up to him. He has everything. I mean, he has like a armful of food. He's like, "You want to stay close to weight because you're the alternate." He's like, "What?" And then we just laughed, like, "Yeah, it's not gonna happen." But that look on his face, he just about crapped his face, like, "I'm really gonna have to lose weight." So,
man, we were talking about it. Freshman, sophomore state's always one of those ones that's front. Like the qualifiers are this weekend. You see some of the guys that were wrestling different weights.
yeah,
And you're like, oh, yeah, that guy was cutting a lot of weight. That's a lot. It's pretty because it's your weight plus like 5, right?
yeah.
It's like,
Oh yeah, there's some weight changes. You can foresee those already. So
yeah.
So 165 got another Adam Central semi-state champ, Brayson Shortgen from returning state qualifier, 44-1. He has Charles Barnes, Michigan City. Shout out to our guy Isaiah McWilliams. I didn't get any compliments and saying nice things about him last night, so he must not have listened to the show. But
Isaiah McWilliams hooking us up with some gear, bro.
What?
He's gonna get us some t-shirts, man. He got some his brand. I told him I'm wearing it on the show. I didn't have one.
So 2 qualifiers for Michigan City.
Yeah,
awesome job. So they'll get the winner of that match will get Naiden Houston from East Central versus Camden Bowman from Evansville Mater Dei, who just took his first loss. So not very many losses in this quarter bracket. So some new guys are going to get some medals, and it should be a good, very competitive match.
Yeah, Sargent, really tough junior there. Like obviously won a pretty good weight at Fort Wayne. Real tough. Charles Barnes had a really tough win at the regional to get through, and then punched the ticket as a 4 at the semi-state. He's tough, man. He's good. I talked about him last night on the Haggard Hershey and Zelt. Is this still the Haggard Hershey and Zelt High School Wrestling Weekly?
I don't know.
Because I plugged it on the show, and I felt like it kind of went silent. And I don't know if that's even the sponsor anymore. And then I kind of felt bad. Like I should have asked, right?
I don't know.
I should just say the High School Wrestling Weekly.
I don't know. We off that. I mean, usually Rex is in the chat. He'll let us know. I
know. After I said it, I was like, man, maybe they're not even the sponsor more. That would be terrible. I did hit. I'm excited. They asked me to hit that. I'm excited from the intro. I got on and talked about Charles Barnes in Michigan City. Scrappy, just old school region, man. Like he's in your face attacking. Russell a tough DAC, like, and then ended up like being the 4 out of Crown Point. And if I'm looking here correctly, only one other wrestler from the Crown Point Regional punched their ticket. So sometimes you think that you did really bad, and you're like, I took 4th, and then you end up being a state qualifier. So bottom part of that, Knight and Houston, really tough. I know they've been saying that he was right there for a couple of years, so I'm happy to see him finally punch a ticket there because I know when he was a sophomore, he was a guy that they were like saying that he was tough. He just kind of ran some tough draws. And Camden Bauman, obviously a Mater Dei, really, really good. Took his first loss this weekend in a pretty good match in the final, honestly, with Haylett. he had to win an incredibly tough ticket round match, probably the toughest ticket round match in the state. Because when you take the athleticism of Little B and put it with the brains of Big B, Triple B, if you get that dub, shout out to you. But and then they got a picture of Triple B right in front of his like good luck going to state picture. Like, hey man, I can't believe I did my guy like that.
Yeah.
Top quarter bracket.
Yeah, Barnes only a sophomore too, so that's I'm sure McWilliams is looking forward to not only this match but 2 more years with that guy.
I've been super impressed with him the 2 weeks I've seen him, and I know he had a really good DAC. I don't know where he trains. I'm sure someone could tell us. Someone will give us the credit real quick, but he's really good. I was really surprised when I seen him, and I was like, dang, because I know he had a good record, and then like watching him attack, I was like, dude, he's tough. So I'm not really sure. He's bringing him a state, man. I see at the show. So I'm not sure where he trains out of in the summer, but like you're right, he's a sophomore. I think he's gonna be a handful.
Yep. I almost forgot about my little contest. You throw a contest out and then we just get tossing. 113 actually.
Oh man, I messed everybody up.
Yeah, I know because someone said 15. I'm like, woo. So Melinda Larimore Richardson, send me a message with your shirt size and your address here, and I'll get you something in the mail. Hopefully tomorrow. I can't guarantee tomorrow, but yeah.
When you said it, you made it sound like it was that it was going to be so low. I was like, I guess I thought about going 60, but I was like, man, he's making it sound like there's only like a lot of left. So I said 47.
Yeah, that's still not very many.
No, 100. No, in a lot of years of wrestling.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Louis was at 26. Good for him, man. Keep eating, bro. Do your thing.
Yeah.
Never cut weight again, Louis.
There were
city trained only, bus trained. Bus got a good staff over there too, man. They're doing a good job. Honestly, they're really, they're doing good, and like they do it the right way. Like it's pretty cool. Like their kids are super respectful, which is, I think, as a coach, and obviously I coach softball, and I'm happy that my kids are good kids. But as a wrestling coach, when your kids are good kids and they're respectful kids, I think that's probably a bigger compliment than like just not only being tough.
Yep. There's 235 4-time qualifiers. That doesn't include the guys this year either too. So anyway, so that's
moving on down. Pretty good quarter bracket here.
So Matthew MJ Staples undefeated, the longest undefeated streak in the state, returning state champion. He has Nolan Winokur from Concordia, a real good junior year. Punches ticket to state, did not get the draw he wanted. Cameron Summers from Franklin Community and James Grimmy from Indianapolis Cathedral.
You're killing us.
2 good programs. Should be a great match. So Staples, he's pretty good. Yeah,
he's really good. I see one of his coaches in here. My guy Austin Price, one of the real good dudes of the sport, man. I think he's like a police officer too, man. Probably the nicest police officer I ever met. I ain't never met him on the street, but nicest dude. He's one of the nicest coaches, man. Honestly, he's a great dude. They got a lot of good dudes over there. My guy Dan Luther too. He's supposed to be watching, so I don't know if he is. Sommers and Grimmy, that's gonna be a good one. Sommers, real good junior year, man. I thought he was in a good spot at the semi-state. I did pick him to punch a ticket there. Grimmy was a guy we talked about last week where we used a lot of his wins and losses to kind of seed our bracket at 65. And then he punches a ticket. So shout out, man. Shout out to Grimmy. Like, we appreciate you wrestling all the tough guys in the state. Yeah. And then, MJ Staples, dude, he's phenomenal, dude. He's really, really good. I hope, and obviously being undefeated is really cool. If he goes 4 years undefeated, there's not a lot of guys that have finished their career undefeated, especially in the time and age we are now, where you're able to go some of these national tournaments. But I know that because they asked you and you told me, and I'm saying it here, that he's got an invite to the Ironman if he wants it. And not to say that he's going to be able to go, because I know that they're at the Trikoff, and I know that's a good event for them for Team State. But he would be a guy, I think he could run that undefeated record there too. He's right in the mix to be one of the top guys. Yeah. Even there, he's phenomenal.
He's in the finals at Super 32. It tells me he can win Ironman. So should be a good quarter bracket there. Um, so should be fun to watch. Going down, this is one of those weight classes where like I said, I think the guys that we kind of want to see under the lights are probably are close to be. I mean, you got 1, 2, and 3 on opposite. 1, 2, and 3 on the opposite sides. Number 3, undefeated Aiden Kincaid, come back off an injury. He's big and he looks like he's on. He's wrestling well. Owen Porterfield, Center Grove, not the best draw there. Sophomore. I mean, crazy things happen. You don't. I mean, he's wrestling for a little bit more, and there's a little when how you could help the team out. You come out with a little more energy. That's a tough match, but if they could somehow pull that off, I would just say I'd just hand the trophy to Center Grove because they're going to start rolling after that. That's a momentum builder, and that's that's when the guys will look at each other and say, we ain't losing.
So, if they pull that one off, I just did the votes. Coach Swain, Coach of the Year, right?
Yeah,
it would be the Coach of the Year. No, I don't. Nothing's like obviously you're 100% right. I'll let you move down, but like 100% right. That's a huge one for team points if he can get that.
Kincaid has more than one high school loss because he got 4th 2 years ago, Nick. So
yeah,
damn New Prairie math. So going down, Hayden Mansilla, Hobart, 35-2. He has Riley Biddle, 7-9. That should be a real good match there.
Yeah. Mansilla was one of the guys that like it kind of didn't benefit him at the Al Smith because of the Grimmy, and I think it'd been cool to see him in Porterfield because I think that was one that was a pivot match that was hotly contested in the debate room. But man, that's a good match Friday night. Mansilla, Hobart's lone state qualifier this year, which kind of surprising for the Brickies, I know. But Kincaid is a Hobart Brickie. The dad's a Hobart.
That
we could get a little Brickie on Brickie, a little Brickie on Brickie love Saturday morning. I don't know. The deep, like old school Brickie guys might be pulling for Kincaid, but the new school said, "Hey, man, we got Mansilla here," which is a lot of portage on that staff. So, but that'll be a good match. I'm not saying Mansilla has 2 losses to Staples. I'm not sure who Biddle's 2 losses. I think one was to Lincoln Carter, right? I'm not sure. And his other one was the Trojan.
Yeah.
It's probably down here, right? Sommers. Yeah. No, he beat Sommers. It's only wins versus the field down there. So that's gonna be a really good Friday night match. And Hobart's got a ton of tradition, and I think there's a lot of I know living in the region, there's a lot of pride there. I'm sure that they didn't expect to only have a singular state qualifier, but it would be a lot better if you can run one of those guys to the semis. I did want to see Porterfield Mansilla just because that was like one of those matches we could have cleared all that up, right?
Yeah, definitely. So going down, Jackson Ensley, unranked from Garrett, 29-13. Brant Beck, Rochester, number 2 in the state. 4-time qualifier, 2-time placer. Oliver Hallett from Indian Creek and Cohen Davis from Hamilton Southeastern. Ensley had a losing record last year, and I know I know that the Garrett coaching staff is elated to get a kid like that to punch a ticket to state, and end up getting 3rd, avenging a loss from sectional or I think regional to the sectional champ and regional champ. So had a losing record. Just an absolute doesn't care.
Good pull Adam. I knew it was one of those guys.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's always going hard in the 3rd period, no matter the score. And I think Nick said something like, if he wouldn't get down so big in the first 2 periods, he actually would probably would have about 5 or 6 more wins. So if you go to 3rd period with him, he's going to score a lot of points.
Yeah, dude. Nick, take the shot, man. I did not have him on the watch list either. I'm not gonna lie.
He didn't even have a profile, so I had to create a profile for him. He's one of 2 people to create profiles.
And my guys in the chat every week, he didn't even let us get a heads up. So, yeah. But this is becoming a thing year after year now with Garrett. They're finding guys that are improving in their program and then qualifying, or guys that we didn't think would qualify that are punching tickets. So, not only shout out to Jackson Ensley. I know if you go from 500 under 500 to a state qualifier, you put the work in. Like, and that those guys are giving people the opportunity to improve, and then also as a staff, getting those guys to state. Because I think this is probably maybe the third year in a row where there was a guy that might have been a guy that's vastly improved year to year to get there. So shout out
Yeah,
to him.
they had. I was doing the So I'll tell you how I cheat on doing the article, the by your numbers article. I just copy it and then I just update it with new things. And they had two guys that were unranked that went to state last year. So
Yeah,
quit sleeping on the railroaders.
I know, man. But they're showing up at the right time, man. And I think that those guys are. We talk about it a lot with a lot of staffs, and maybe we don't give. I think we do give them their roses. Like I think they do a really good job. But there's guys that I don't have the pick'ems in front of me, and obviously you can go through it. I'd be interested to see how many people of those people really did pick Jackson Ensley to go.
Yeah.
So I think we've done it before and said how many people picked this guy, and it wasn't that high. And now that's a tall task on Friday night. Brant Beck is really good.
Yeah.
His two losses. He has a slam loss, which it's a loss, but not it's kind of tough. And then he lost to MJ Staples. With that being said, like he's had a phenomenal career, and like dude, I feel like he's been 65 every single year too. Has he been 65 every year?
I thought he was a little bit lower. I thought he was like 70 for a little bit last year, whatever.
Because he wrestled Reinhardt at 65, right? The year that he took third. Bottom part of that bracket, Oliver Haylett, another guy that I think that gave Cam Bauman his first loss in the regional or in the semi-state. And Cohen Davis, the guy that's been around, I'm actually shocked that he's only a junior because he's a guy that I know we had in the rankings last year, and Joe would give me such a hard time because I feel like he was changing his name every week on his brackets.
Yes.
So, shout out to Hamilton Southeastern, Indian Creek. That's a good quarterback. I think that'll be a very interesting one. Oliver Haylett, 31-2 on the season. So,
yeah. So, actually, like the Garrett Rochester match, a couple.
Tristan Wilson,
a couple guys that I coached will be kind of coaching against each other. So, that'd be kind of fun to watch.
Ooh, rivalry match.
Yeah. So 175. This is going to be another great weight class, and this is one that you just couldn't seed it. I mean, there's no way you can kind of seed this to try to get things away. Jacob Cole, one loss on the year, returning state qualifier. Against number 9, Tyson Barrow, returning state qualifier. Also, good Friday night match right there. Griffin Van Tichel, 3-time state qualifier. I'm looking for a medal. This is one that Crown Point can see. I mean, Van Tichel's as good as anyone in this bracket. Obviously, he's ranked number 2, so we could project him to be. I mean, he should be pretty far in that bracket. He has August Adams Carroll punch his ticket. Looked really good Saturday. So Van Tichel, this is a Crown Point area where Crown Point is going to want Van Tichel, is going to need Van Tichel to run it to under the lights and possibly a title. That's one, I was playing with the numbers like, okay, what if they run in there? It's going to be interesting to see how things shake out there.
Yeah, and Jacob Cole, really good season, 42-1, returning qualifier. That'll be a good one Friday night. When the 4s are ranked higher than the 1, those are usually interesting matches. But two small schools too. North Posey's not a big school, right?
No, they're small.
Just double checking. But Crown Point and Carroll both are, and they're both pretty good in football. August Adam, a football player. Did Carroll beat Crown Point this year?
No, they beat Penn.
Oh, and Penn beat Crown Point. That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Carroll did beat, or Crown Point beat Carroll the year before.
Okay.
That's it would be regional, I think. So I think we went all the way.
The Crown Point guys always tell me that you're hating on them all the time, so they get all angry about it. No, that should be a good match. I think we missed the death draw there. I was worried. As I'm like kind of putting the numbers together, the loser of that Freeman Van Tichel match, which was in the semis at East Chicago, which was a really good match. An exciting match. Freeman wrestled really well Saturday. We'll talk about Vinny in a second. Um, but I was like, man, like they could hit Lincoln Cooper. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of those guys, the loser of that match could hit Lincoln Cooper Friday night. And Link's wrestled really well, but like your heart kind of goes out to Van Tichel because there's not a lot of just 4-time qualifiers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
how many 4-time just straight qualifiers are there? Is there less than
235.
47? How many?
235. Oh, just all Qs?
Yeah.
Oh, give me a minute.
Yeah. So and I'll continue. So but he fell in a good spot there because you're talking about the highest ranked guy in that quarter bracket. But August Adams had a good season, and Barrow and Cole are tough, and Cole's a guy that wrestles position well, and Van Tichel's explosive. Those are usually pretty good matches, like stylistically.
Yeah, there have been three.
Three,
They're all from the South.
all from the South. Was Austin Bethel a 4-time qualifier? He got a medal one year, right?
No, he was a 4-time qualifier. I think I think his senior year he didn't wrestle. He ended up not wrestling, if I'm not mistaken. But I still consider him a qualifier. He is not a participant. Michael Miller from Madison was a 4-time qualifier, 2005 graduate, and then Craig Allstott from Floyd Central. He graduated in 86.
Maybe related to Gavin.
Yeah. So there's three. So I don't think you want to join. You don't want to be on that illustrious list.
No.
I'm just gonna say, and Griffin's a great kid, great family. So that's one I was. I don't want to see him wrestle a Carroll kid. I like August. I like his family. So I hope. I hope there's no controversy if in the matches. That's my politically correct statement. But
and this is like one of those things, and I'm not in the room. I haven't, obviously I left halfway there, and I had went through the first round, but, I think sometimes that you can get in those matches, you can get tight. Like, that there's that there. I was, we spoke about Hobart, and, Eric Keith had something similar where he was a 3-time qualifier. I think he was favorite 2 of those years going into his last year. I think there was a lot of people that felt like that could be the route. And then he won and won a state title that year. Griff's really good. And I think he's been the favorite in a couple of those matches on Friday night that didn't go his way. I know at least one of them was a match that he had won before during the season. I think his freshman year, they were incredibly confident that he was going to make a run. I think he had Johnson of Cathedral. That might have been like 26 or 25. Maybe I think it was at 30 actually. And so like you can't overlook anybody, but like they missed a death draw there. And kind of moving down, we'll talk about possible semifinal there.
Yeah, he lost to. There's a website for that.
Mason Day.
Josh Johnson. 23. Silas Stitz. I think that was a 6-5 match. Him and Stitz like split, right?
Yep. Those were wars. He had beat Josh Johnson at the Al Smith, and then I think him and Mason Day would have like crazy like 1-0, 2-1 matches, and they'd come down the wire. I think Mason ended up winning bigger on Friday night last year, right?
Yeah, 4-1. 4-1. So yeah.
The best for my money, the best class of 2026 non-medalist in the field.
Yep. So and he has reopened his college search. So if you're looking for a good 74-pounder in college, it might be one to look for. So going down.
And if you guys play flag football in between matches, he's a pretty good football player too. He probably win you some matches.
Yes. So going down, you got Sean Breedlove, Center Grove, undefeated, having a great year. Warren Pollard, North Vermilion, started the postseason undefeated. First North Vermilion state qualifier in quite a while. I can tell you in just a second. It has been since 2010. They've never had a state placer either. He's only a 3rd state qualifier in school history. They've had a couple girls qualify. So congrats to him. Elijah Gall, another one that has started so 3 of these guys started the postseason undefeated. He just took his first loss to Clayton Fielden. Israel Sinat from Hanover Central, returning state qualifier. So Sinat's the only one with a qualifier. And 1, 8, and 5. So it should be a good quarter.
Yeah, a really good quarter bracket. Shout out to Warren Pollard, North Vermilion. Coming back too, he's gonna run it back. He's only a junior. Three juniors in this quarter bracket. Um, we'll start at the bottom. Gall, dog, bro. It was a dog. He had me sweating in the ticket round. Pulled it out. Heart of a champion. I know Caleb probably had his text ready to trash talk me, but pulled it out. So Izzy's tough, man. Izzy's got a handful of losses to Van Tichel. Wrestled really well at the Al Smith, where he had a win over Freeman there. Dude, he's big, he's strong. I know he has a loss bumped up to Russell Palacios at Team State. That could be a really good Friday night match. I think having that state experience helps. You're not like, I think you get those jitters out. Like, obviously, I didn't wrestle there, so like I'm just giving you what I've heard. I heard from some people before, but you're not as tight. Like, obviously, it's not as it's a different feel. Sean Breedlove having an amazing season. I thought him and him and Lincoln Cooper was a really good finals match out there at Evansville. I know that those guys were looking forward to the rematch. Right saying of the whole bracket, okay, or just that quarter. Breedlove and Breedlove always got a tough path, and he's a good athlete, and so is Sanat, and Gall's obviously really tough too. He had a huge win over Jacob Cole, but I think he's Jacob Cole's only loss, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you can get that Breedlove Van Tichel match in the semis for high drama for the team race, it's incredibly hard to beat a good wrestler 3 times in overtime. The first 2 were overtime matches. I think it's incredibly hard to beat anyone at the high levels 3 times unless you're just incredibly dominant. But if it's pretty evenly matched, and it's a game of adjustments, so
should be a good one there. Bottom half bracket just as loaded. You got Vinny Freeman from Penn, 4-time qualifier now, 2-time placer. He has Paul Woods from Leo. Hopefully he's all right. I know there's been some stuff on the board about that. Kind of got hit in the head pretty hard. Kind of just not a fun situation to be in. He was up 3-1. There were about 30 seconds, I want to say, left in the match. The Winchester kids just good hard wrestling. Ends up I think it was unnecessary roughness that the referee called. I feel it was probably the right call. Unfortunately, it's just not a good position to be in there.
Yeah,
and so hopefully he's okay and able to wrestle. MJ Morton, Ron Colley, turning state 8th place finisher, and Lincoln Cooper, Columbus East. Another great quarter bracket. Number one, all the top guys qualified for state here, and they're all kind of pretty much separated enough to see. I mean, that Friday morning 175 is going to be fireworks.
Oh yeah, possibly. We don't know what's going to happen Friday night, but Cooper had a tough loss last year in the semi-state to I believe Parker Reynolds, right? And that's a tough matchup. MJ Morton is a real deal. Obviously, he's a return state medalist. He's taken some losses this year. Cooper's 2 losses are to Breedlove semi-state championship and Al Smith championship. Freeman looked phenomenal Saturday. I thought he looked really good. That might have been the best, but we said it at the Al Smith too when he was wrestling Breedlove in the semifinals. I thought his setups looked incredibly good. Like he looked really good. It wasn't just like a plotting get to one attack. Like I thought he was setting up 2s and 3s, and then obviously Breedlove came back and won that match. But I thought that was a really good. And Freeman's 3 losses that were all that day.
Yeah.
He
of them were that day.
I know he lost to Sanat and he lost to, and then he injured to fought one. He lost to Sanat and he lost to Breedlove. I don't know who his third one would be.
I do not know who that third loss is to either.
Because I know like they had there was only a singular.
Oh no, it was out of state. They went to Perrysburg, Ohio for a tournament. Okay, lost there.
So that's sometimes we talk about it with brackets, man. Van Tichel taking 3rd there becomes the highest rated wrestler in his quarter bracket up top. And then Vinny winning the semi-state while he's wrestling really well. Like that sets up a possible matchup Saturday morning with the returning medalist or Lincoln Cooper, who's ranked number 3 in the state.
Yeah, so that's a great quarter bracket. Last quarter bracket, Connor Hoare from Evansville Memorial, number 15. Unranked Gabe Flick of New Pal. Carter Field and Garrett, 3rd trip to state for him. looking for the bookend medals, and Carter Ogborn from Rensselaer Central. Another good small school program that's continues to turn out state qualifiers every year. So that's always cool to see. As a fan of the sport, you want to see those teams continue to take guys deep in the state series, and it's good for their programs, good for their communities.
Yep. Shout out to the Bombers, man. Coach Hickman does a great job. Um, Carter Fielding's tough, man. We talked about it in the past. Like he's got an exciting style to say the least. Like
Yeah.
exciting as a person watching the style. I mean, I don't know, man. Some of those Gator guys like to roll around. Maybe that's Nick's like signature. That he gets those
It's
guys.
not his father's signature. I can tell you that. He is he's his I'd love to see his dad's like blood pressure during Carter's matches, because
I know we mic people
that's
up.
pretty high.
Can we get like a heart monitor on them? We can watch it on the iPhone or iWatch, Apple Watch.
Yeah.
That that's a tough spot for Ogburn, but like we said, if you take 4, there's a good chance, especially at 75, you're running a really tough wrestler. His 2 losses were at Al Smith, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Did he lose to Van Titchell or who did he lose to on the front?
Van
Titchell, and I think he injury defaulted, right?
Yeah. Or that. Yeah. Then he lost. Well, he lost to Van Titchell, and then he lose for third.
I thought he ID'd.
Well, he did. He injury defaulted in the last match.
He's exciting, man. He's fun to watch. I'm incredibly happy that he's back on the mat. I know, like he was out last year. Again, like and I don't know all the circumstances to it, but I think sometimes cutting weight and the stress of being a teenager is incredibly hard. So I'm glad he was able to rebound and have a great season, and hopefully he continues to put on a show. Cooper too. He lost to Cooper. So put on a show and do his thing, man. Top part of that, Connor Horse, shout out, man. He had a huge ticket round match, right? That was one I know that we were talking about. I think there was a lot of people, saying like, oh, like this was one that whoever he was wrestling, I said like he holds position incredibly well. I know that there's a lot of guys that he's not going to beat himself. Gabe Flick had been in and out of the rankings. I don't know why I dropped him out of the rankings. That was a dumb move from me. So shout out to New Palestine for making me look bad. But I really don't remember why we dropped Gabe Flick out of there, or I did. Joe didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just posted them.
Who did Hor beat for a ticket?
Or Noah Fields.
Yeah, I thought there was someone else in that bracket. Everyone was picking.
Gibson.
Yeah, everyone was talking about Colton Gibson, right? Like Colton Gibson was going to be the guy that pushed through, and I was like,
or Corey Fuller. So
yeah, so I mean, it was a wide open quarter bracket, and I remember thinking, Hor. All I've ever heard from him out of Evansville, which is not a lot, just a whisper. You hear like a sliver, you get a little bit of information, was that he's a guy that holds position well, and he's in really good shape. So congratulations.
So 190. This is one that we talked about earlier. The guys that we want to see wrestle in the finals, if they make it there, is they're separated. So that's all we can do. Michael White, Lawrence North, 2-time state placer, returning runner-up. He has Brogan Parks from West Noble. Parks avenged 2 losses to a conference foe in the ticket round and punched his ticket and kind of dominated. It was very surprising, came to wrestle and wrestled well. Only a sophomore. Corey Tante, Franklin Community, and Caden Uran from Lowell. I believe there's a rematch from Team State where Tante won. So
I see the handy dandy notebook down here says that Tante won that one.
Yep. So
right in the wins versus the field.
Yep. Parker White is pretty good. So and he tacked Harden, the last guy from Indiana to beat him. He said, "You ain't beating me no more." And that was probably more of a just kind of a little bit of an extra, don't doubt me. He's good. He's real good.
Yeah.
People that haven't seen him are going to be really surprised.
Shout out to Mikey White, man. We were talking about that. We were talking about, Kyle Harden, and that, people forget that he was a semi-state champ, and he said, hold my beer, or hold my Gatorade. And I went out there and tech fall Kyle Harden, which I think Kyle's going to be going for his 4th medal also. So,
Yeah.
pretty solid career for Kyle, and Mikey White just keeps getting better every time anyone sees him. So, um, Corey Tante, Caden Uran, that's gonna be a really good like team point match for like I don't know the top part, but both of those guys are bringing program highs. And Tante has obviously got a huge tradition. Caden Uran, I know, had dealt with some injuries this year. Early on, I know like getting him back, he looked less injured now. I don't think like why I say less injured. He doesn't even look injured now. But I know like there were some points in the season where he was taking some time off. But that again, it's a game of adjustments. I believe it was a major the last time they wrestled. 16-8. 8 points not to make up, but you've seen it before, and that could be a really exciting matchup. But I'm sure that Brogan Parks probably was not happy. I mean, obviously, there's two incredibly talented wrestlers, but when you have the number one ranked guy in the country, not the state, the country, that's going to a powerhouse in Oklahoma State, that's not the guy you want to wake up as a four and draw. So,
Yeah. Yeah. So, going down next quarter bracket, returning state placer Xavier Palacios from Belmont. They qualified quite a few guys for state. He has Camden Funk from Fishers. We're 23 in the state. That should be a good one. Calvin Stewart, Crown Point versus Colin McMahon, Columbus East. Returning state qualifier. This is a spot where obviously you have a 16-4, but Crown Point could very well use some points there. Somehow getting a win, that would be good. They would definitely not to be disappointed in getting points like that. So should be a good quarter bracket.
yeah, I always like in like the notes when we look at it, and we kind of talk about it off air more than anything, is when you look down here at the wins versus the field, you see Colin McMahon, and he has two, not one, not the longest line. He has two lines of wins over the field. So
Yeah.
he's incredibly tough. That'd be a good one. Calvin Stewart was winning, I believe, in the semis and ended up going to his back. I mean, he was pinned. I think he wrestles an exciting style. I think we said it at the team state when you and I were sitting there. It was like he could go out here and be the hero, but he also sometimes puts himself in some bad positions. And sometimes he wins those positions, and 26 times he's probably done that, and 9 times he's probably not won those positions. So, but McMahon's a guy that doesn't put himself in those positions. So he's very solid. Camden Funk, we talked about him last week. Heavyweight last year, the only spot he can kind of get in the lineup. Coming down this year to 190, qualified for state. That's a tough one, man. Xavier Palacios is good. He's really good. I know they call him the X-Man. X-Man, I always hear Rex say it. 44-2 on the season. Had a loss at the Al Smith, and also had a loss to Dalton Pledger, I believe, who's out of the tournament now. So, good spot for Palacios to possibly run that to the semis. But I believe him and McMahon was a close match at Al Smith. So I would be one of the best, not Belmont's most they've ever sent.
No, not at all.
We think 1988?
Maybe. So bottom half bracket, you got Sam Howard undefeated from Boonville. He has Quentin McLeod from Logansport, 31-3. Brody Wingate, East Central returning state qualifier, and Jordan Simon, North Miami, having a good senior year. North Miami qualified guys at 90, 215 in heavyweight. So I'm sure they work out together. They had a real good tournament Saturday. They had a couple other qualifiers too. So should be, Howard looking real good. I think there's some people that are calling for him to beat White. I'm not going to say that, but Howard's really good and should hopefully under the lights, we get 200 undefeated guys and let's have at it.
Yeah, that's kind of been the buzz the whole year, right? If you're, and it's both, kind of south of me at least. If you're from the Indy area north, you're saying Mikey White's the guy, and if you're from kind of the Indy area south, you're saying, Sam Howard. You guys are sleeping on him from Boone, Vegas. I'm happy that they're separated. I think that's a match that you want to see. Now there's some landmines there too. Like if you're Sam Howard, we can start looking at Saturday night 7:00 with Greg Regshaw, but and Blake Maurer and Mike Gable, but like. The winner of that Brody Wingate Jordan Simon match is gonna be tough. Hey, and Quinn McLeod of Logansport Berries don't have nothing to lose. He got Felix the Cat as a mascot. You come out there. Could be tough. One of the fighting four of the Logansport Regional. Two of those were Broncos. So I don't know if you're going to look past those guys, but that bottom quarter bracket has some guys that are really tough. But I know that's one of the guys that the South's hanging their hat on, right?
Yep.
Woo! They got some rumor mill. We're writing down all the rumors right now because I'm getting a lot of rumors.
Yes, this is rumor season.
Dude, this week
we're gonna start a spreadsheet of, and then I think with the IndianaMat guys, we're gonna rank it like 10 is really likely, 7 is or what 0 is like not gonna happen. I want to. It'd be kind of fun to get some of these rumors, and you gotta probably we'll have to type them in and kind of tell where they're coming from. So we're not gonna release them because that'd be mean.
Yeah,
it might actually come true, but we get a lot of rumors, and this is the time of year where you hear everything possible.
Well, last year there was a rumor of a heavyweight heading over to the Berg, and that was a done deal. It was 100% done deal, right? And then it didn't happen. So I don't like to throw the rumors out there. No, Brandon Bart, we're not making fun of Logansport. We need you to rebuild it, bro. Powerhouse. But get a Contenders franchise, my man. I seen Brandon Barton this weekend. No, but yeah, like that's one of those ones. I'm writing that down into my notebook. Somebody said ha ha ha, and then someone said not happening.
Yeah. So
dude, he loves Boonville, man.
No, he can't leave Boone Vegas. I just want to know why they call it Boone Vegas too. I asked Triple B and he had no clue, and
I've been to Boonville. I don't know why they call it Boone Vegas either.
Does they have a casino or anything there?
I don't think so. Maybe an underground casino I wasn't invited to. I've seen this guy shark.
Yeah, snitches get
stitches. They don't want our region money. They don't want that steel mill money.
Yeah. So last quarter bracket, we got Jax Litchfield, real good sophomore from Heritage, having a real good year. He's had a little bit of national success. He's kind of pretty good. I think this might be a sneaky good match. Harden's wrestling real well. 3 state medals at 170 pounds or more. Don't have that. I can't easily find that, but I'm gonna say that's pretty rare to have 4 state medals at 170 or more.
Sean Streck, baby.
Yeah. So then going down, the only unranked semi-state champion, and he's out of East Chicago, Lucas Anderson, Chesterton. You said it last week. I mean, you're like, Chesterton has a boatload of losses, but they're wrestling really well right now. And and they I mean, we could clip it. You called it. You didn't call him actually making it there, but you're like, they've just been wrestling real well, and they've been, you were high on him. He has Spencer Fain from Floyd Central. So that's that should be a real good 4-1 there. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's start up at the top. Jackson Litchfield, really tough sophomore. I know he had some national. Also in the rumor mill, I heard he's he might be on the move. But we're not here to talk rumors today. But that's a tough one with Kyle Harden. Kyle Harden's had a really successful career. He's gonna, we kind of talked about it. I said it to Al Smith on the mic. I don't know if it was cool or not, but he's gonna follow in his dad's footsteps to the University of Indianapolis to play football. He's a very good football player, very accomplished football player. Like I said, like if you're Sam Howard, you're gonna have to kind of run a gauntlet of guys, right? Like you're gonna have to, beat a Brody Wingate or a Jordan Simon. You're gonna have to beat a Kyle Harden or a Jackson Litchfield who's had some national success. Or you're gonna have Lucas Anderson who's wrestling really well. Shout out to Coach Trevino and Coach Hawkins and that guys and staff over there. I know I'm forgetting a bunch of people, but they have a big staff and we don't have all that time today. Spencer Fain, just to look in the group chat, I have to go back and watch it. I know there's some they said that, there was a tough match in the ticket round. I'm going to go back and make my own opinions. But I wouldn't be surprised if you have a ranking by your name and the guy that didn't, does that make you the favorite? I know Carver was posting on the post today that we should be allowed to seat the state finals. I would love that. It'd be great for my rankings, but that's not how it works.
I don't know if I want that heat. You get enough heat from the Al Smith. I mean, it would be fun, but at the same time, I'm like, man, can you imagine? Man, if we didn't see Carver the right way, oh boy, Papa Carver be blowing everything up.
Here's a hot take, and dude, I could be completely wrong. And I'm as big an East Chicago fan as anyone. I think East Chicago probably landed in one of the tougher spots here for them. This could be a shutout.
Yeah, I mean,
Could
by
hurt
the
our
rankings, if your rankings are right.
if the rankings are right. This could be a tough wait for the East Chicago semi-state.
Yeah,
Now rankings don't really mean anything, and I'm sure everyone will tell me everyone starts 0-0. Like I've never seen a wrestling match, but
whoever wants it more, remember.
yeah, I don't. I didn't rank anyone's desire this week, um, but yeah, that's a tough one, man. That's a weird spot. I know there were some guys they got left home in the ticket round that I think had some higher rankings, but shout out to all these guys for punching their ticket. That's what it's
Yep.
about.
So going down. Speaking of rankings, I know someone. Last night I sent you the video. Was very very surprised at the ranking of Jerron Kearney.
Yep.
Uh, my son was looking at the brackets and they were absolutely awesome hearing his reactions. Like he's 39-1 and ranked 29. So I'm sure. I mean, we've heard a lot about him from Princeton, and I think that's pretty much the same reaction we've had here.
Yeah, I think they've gave us some. Nah, I was gonna give them business. Like they really haven't really said nothing, right? It's only been in the state series. That
Yeah,
is
it's no good in the state series. All of a sudden, hey,
zero. There's not been
yeah,
one comment in any of the Guerrilla Radios. Go back and look at every comment of this season. Probably at least 20 shows that anyone before the regional or sectional when he beat Caden Thacker said anything about where Jerron Kearney was ranked. None.
yeah,
Zero.
yeah. You don't know where he was ranked before sectional?
Yeah, go for it. He's
So
on the watch list. He's been on the watch list.
yeah, yeah.
Like,
So yeah, he has number 29 in the state, probably a little underranked. He has number 30, Tierson Wolford from Winnemac. The token Winnemac Princeton rivalry.
Jared Dunn, literally a silent killer from Princeton. Just said
whoa, out of the blue. We just mentioned him last podcast.
Dude, I know, man. You got the triple B pick for one of the best ever come through there. Literally one of the most silent killers from Princeton, taking out state champs.
Yep. So good quarterback there. The other match, Julian Burgett from the Fishers, Deep Waters trained. Derek Morrison, two qualifiers from last year, looking for a medal. I mean, I talked to Coach Gable. I was like, okay, tell me about this Princeton kid. He's like, he's big and he's big and he's good. So, hey, run it to the finals. I mean, it's it's one of those things that, hey, good for you. Thankfully, you expanded to 30 yep. and got him in there because that looks a lot better than him coming in as an unranked guy like the weight class before. But either way, I mean, having a great season and send us information. I mean, that's the biggest thing is I mean, hopefully people don't take it as disrespect, but at the same time, if you send some information, someone down there should have seen him and said, dude, watch out for this guy. Maybe he's not a top 10 guy. Maybe he's not a top 15 guy, but yeah, you probably should have him in the 15 to 20 range because he's going to make some noise. And 6'5", jeez. Almost as tall as Mike.
Yeah. Yep. Legit. No, yeah, but also to that, it's tough. It's tough. This is a little rankings talk. I'm gonna pull back the curtain here. It's tough to like gauge him against where people is because he only has the 3 wins of any qualifiers. They've all been in the state tournament.
Yeah,
I think that makes it a little bit harder. And like, yeah, we didn't get a ton of information, but like, shout out to Jerron Kearney. Huge win in the finals of the Evansville semi-state. I thought him and Caden Thacker were going back and forth. Now you're saying run it to the finals. I'm going to pump the brakes there. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit. I mean, I'm not saying it can't happen. I think Julian Burgett's really tough. I think like another guy that has a motor that's going to be a good one with him and Derek Morrison. Al Smith finalist from 2 years ago. Tierson Warford. Hey, man, Winnemac be pulling some big guys. They had a good big guy last year. They have a good big guy this year. So dangerous. I will not go out on a limb and say that Evansville is going to blank East Chicago in this bracket. Like I think you said that last week. I said I'm going to pump the brakes right there. I don't think they're blanking 215. Yes. Moving on down, we'll explain why.
Yes, Cesar Salas, pretty good wrestler, sophomore, 2 losses out of the state, 5th last year. He has Caden Thacker, 1 versus 8. Modern day, not the draw Thacker wanted. I don't think anyone won that draw.
No,
I mean. Yeah, so that should Salas is wrestling real well. Unfortunately, Thacker's a little bit undersized. He's going to go out there and battle. Meyer Day had a real good day Saturday. And I was talking to Coach Cable. I was like, man, it wouldn't have been surprising if they had three guys. I think they get three guys out. They should, but they got six, I believe. Great day for them because they had some brutal draws. Next match is number 5, Colin Wetzel, new pal, returning sixth place finisher from 2024. He has Aiden Hunt from Garrett. That could be a real good one. 5-9 Hunt's, not afraid to mix it up. He's going to get after it. Wetzel been there, making a return trip. So it should be a good quarter bracket. Obviously, Salas is a heavy, heavy favorite.
Yeah, nationally ranked, probably one of the top 2028s in the class. Recruiting class, I'm sure. Yeah, tough spot there for Thacker. I didn't see how the matches went, but like you look as you take a step back, you're happy to qualify. He's had a really good season. And then you take a step back, you're like, oh, I just beat Jerron Kearney last week, and he wins the semi-state, puts himself in a much better position than I'm in. And I know that there was some talk about like, oh, wrestlebacks here, and yeah, like dude, that's tough. But like anytime you take fourth, when you know there's guys at the level that in there, you run that risk, and that sucks. That's not ideal. But 9-5 right there, those are dangerous wrestlers too for Salas. I mean, Aiden Hunt's a guy that could put you away. He's a pinner. I'm sure he has a ton of falls this year. And Colin Wetzel, another guy that's really tough. Missed it last year, but even the semifinal there matched with possibly with Burgett if they run it through. I mean, everyone's picking Jerron Kearney and 6'5" athlete. But Burgett's got a motor and he's got a lot of offense. So that could be an interesting matchup there.
Yep. Bottom half bracket, returning state 7th place finisher, Sear Godwise. He has Taden Getz, East Noble. He had a big win in the ticket round. East Noble with 4 guys. So congrats to Coach Reason and crew. Good set of coaches other than Reason. Sorry.
He got good hair. He used to have good hair. Did he cut it?
Yeah, he doesn't. I mean,
that's probably why he's winning all these matches now.
Yeah. So, so Godwise and Getz, and then you have Clayton Miller, number 10, and unranked Robert McKinney, another Lafayette Jeff guy. Tomcat, putting Logansport on his back. He's riding off in the sunset, and he has a whole Logansport regional on his back, taking 2 qualifiers, 2 unranked guys in this quarter bracket, which is, if you read the article, Mike did another great job of getting the rankings, and so could be 4-10. That should be a good one. I'm sure they've wrestled this year, possibly. Oh no, I guess probably. Oh yeah, he didn't know. They did not, because Godwise was injured for some of the season, so should be a good one.
Yeah, Godwise, again, another guy that had dealt with some injuries this year. It was going to take time for him to get his legs back under him. I think he started at Mooresville, and dude pulled out the Newcastle semi-state. And that's not a soft semi-state at 215. So not that any of them are. Like, hold on, this isn't Michigan. I didn't want to say Illinois because the shots of my boys in Illinois. But yeah, he put himself in a better spot there. Like obviously you have 2 unranked guys in that quarter bracket. It might be one of the only brackets with 2 unranked guys, but that'll be a good one, man. I know the Columbus East guys come to battle, and they're always there to test guys' gas tanks. So, so that could be an interesting one Saturday morning. But Robert McKinney could send Tomcat Miller off with a medal. It's been a while since the Lafayette Jefferson Broncos got a medalist. They have 2 shots at it. Like that's a pretty decorated career for Coach Miller. He's got a lot of wins.
Yeah, the last medal for, man, they have had a lot of state medals: 94, 91, 89, 67, 2012 last medalist. So
what? Give me a name. Shout us out. What's the name?
Adrian Brown, 6th place.
I'd say Adrian Brown. I think he had a brother wrestled too. Pretty good.
Yeah. So then the bottom half quarter bracket, Andrew Coy from Munster, senior, punching his ticket. He has a rematch from Team State with Kellen Fleur, who lost to Kenneth Kearney. in overtime at the semi-state finals, returning sixth place finisher. He did like an interview, I guess, today, but I didn't. I just saw like a tree talking. I don't know what it was. It's kind of weird. So it's on their Facebook page. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on in there. Hartley Hoover, undefeated North Miami, looked real good. He has Andrew Harmon, Franklin Central. I think it is state law that they qualify a 215 or heavyweight every year. Man, they just always do a great job. I mean, they always do a great job with big guys. They always have good big guys coming in with 13 losses, but definitely going to be battle tested.
My guy Brandon Barton, shout out. The aficionado of the Logansport Regional said McKinney's an athlete, has had a massive turnaround during the year. That's that. When I go for Logansport information, that's my guy right now.
The voice of it.
The voice of the people.
Oh,
dang, that's deep. It's so, yeah, Kellen Floor, a little bit. Honestly, I was surprised at that. Being number 3, is returning medalist. To see him lose at the semi-state championship, speaks to how good Kearney's wrestling. But he's also put himself in a pretty good spot there. Andrew Cooey, they said he's big, strong kid. Obviously, he's got a lot better than that muster room also. Hartley Hoover, undefeated on the season, returning qualifier, lost to Austin Reading last year Friday night. I believe it was a pretty close match. He's going to look to turn that around. His dad's the coach.
Yes.
At North Miami, building the powerhouse, the 1A powerhouse.
Dr. Bill Hoover.
But with that being said, I've said it several times. The Franklin Central Flashes coaches told me that Andrew Harmon was a guy to look out for. They said that's a guy, don't be surprised if he's at the state finals. So I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, see, hey, hold on a second. They gave you information. He's 35-13, and he's ranked 21. And the guy that started the off season undefeated is 29. So amazingly, you get send some information in. It does probably boost your ranking. And yeah, just the same.
Yeah. That's pretty good math. Honestly, if you send something and you tell us, then we'll make it happen. Or you can flat over the radio, or you can say I told you so. But don't say I told you so because you didn't tell us.
Yeah. So anyway, heavyweight.
Heading on to the big boys on first night.
3 undefeated wrestlers at heavyweight. But it's not the returning state champion. So that's a crazy. This is going to be a great weight class. I think the styles here are going to be so much fun. Hayden Smith, he has a couple matches this year. He's returning 7th place finisher from 2024 in Evansville. He's going to try to take a medal from Indy. He has Kyle Sommer from Elkhart, who punches ticket. Had some good wins during the year. Elkhart, always doing a good, always punching qualifiers. It's good to see them having success.
They punch qualifiers?
Whatever. I can't speak. The clan guard of Rochester, Jakari Markey, Warren Central, 8-14. That should be a good 2 returning medalists, and one of them's not getting a medal this year. So, you have 3 returning medalists here. And then obviously Summer beat guard earlier in the year. So if that would get to that point, it could be a really interesting match. Smith looks real good. I saw him a couple times. I saw him at Team State. I was telling Coach Gable, I was like, I'm so glad to see 2A there because we could go and watch those matches and see some guys. Don't see Heritage Hills very often. Don't make it down south. I mean, it's amazing. If I'd go down south, I'm pretty positive I'd be able to catch a Heritage Hills match any day of the week.
Every day of the week, you can catch several Heritage Hills matches.
There's a good chance
you might have think you've seen Joe at Heritage Hills matches. That's not Joe, honestly.
Yeah.
A little bit shorter than that guy, but that was not Joe there.
Yeah, we do need to make that clear. I am not going down there. So yes, but yeah. Anyway, go ahead. What's your analysis of this quarter bracket?
That first quarter bracket match with DeKellen Glard and Jakari Markey, 2 guys that hold position incredibly well. Markey coming back from an injury. Obviously, you could tell by his 8-2 record. Both of his losses to Catfish Rider. He lose another one somewhere else. I know that was in the finals last week. It was him and Catfish. That's going to be an interesting matchup. But those guys are kind of your classic heavyweights. DeKellen Guard had a really good win over Tony Brooks to punch a ticket. I think there was a lot of people. Obviously, Tony was higher ranked based on his finish at the Al Smith, and then Guard had just lost to Kyle Summer at the Elkhart tournament. What is that called?
No, that was at the Rochester tournament.
I was at the John McKee.
Yeah, I believe.
Okay. So 41-3. Wabash Little Giants getting a good one, right?
Yep.
And then on that top part, Hayden Smith's a pinner, man. We got to see him get some pins at Team State. Sommer's tough though, man. That could be a sneaky good match Friday night. But you got 3 guys with medals in that quarter bracket. Heavyweight's really good. I think heavyweight's a really good weight.
Yeah, a lot of returning guys with state experience. So going down, Isaiah Kuhlman, Leo, returning 5th place finisher, 3rd time he's been to state. Hank the Tank Redman, he's gonna, sister got a state title earlier in the year, so he's got to duplicate that, or I heard he might get kicked out of the house. Might have to go live with Coach Cooper, and no one wants that.
No.
Dace McNeil, Zionsville, number 10, versus James Hartleroad from New Prairie. Kuhlman and Redmond might be the biggest heavyweight versus the smallest heavyweight in the field, because Kuhlman, he's a big dude, and he moves well. I'm looking forward to seeing him against the field here. Saw him the past couple of weeks and very impressed with him. In heavyweight, you never know what's going to happen. Just be cool to see a Leo guy. I mean, I'd be happy for a Heritage Hills guy. I'd be happy for any of those guys, but it's always cool to see schools around here have some success like that. And 41-0, he's having a good season.
Great season. Had a really good semi-state too. Hank Redman got a motor on him, man. He's going to test your gas tank. So if there's any chinks in that gas tank armor, he's going to find it. Pretty accomplished YouTuber, so go check him out. We ever get his page, we have to link that on there, honestly. Give my guy a shout out, man. He's out there grinding, making content. Anyone that's making good content, we'll give him the plug. If you're making sorry content, then you'll talk about the chat, right? Yeah. So then Dace McNeil having a really good year. We've seen him at the Al Smith. James Hartleroad trying to run it back against one of his old Fort Wayne buddies via DeKalb. Had to sit out a year last year, which was unfortunate. But state semifinalist looked really good Saturday too. So he's a big boy, man. Those are 2 big fellas.
Yeah, they would have wrestled 2 years ago when they were in the same conference. So I guess I never looked. I assume they wrestled.
Well, the year that Hartleroad took 3rd, he was 4th of the semi-state. So and that was also a year that Coleman qualified, right?
Yeah.
So they might have lost a match there.
Yes. Yeah, so Coleman actually beat him twice. He beat him 3 times that year.
That was before he went over to get that
4-3, 7-3, 3-1, 7 victory. So
that's before he came to the great Northeast or Northwest.
West.
What is that still
in the Northeast?
Kind of weird, but up towards New Carlisle. So yeah, that could be
Cucumber Productions. I am linking Hank's.
It's called Dr. Cucumber.
Yes.
I'm gonna watch one. I'm gonna give you my honest review.
I just put it in the chat. Very unique. And he sings. Also does sings. I think he has his own songs. So
man, that was what man.
That's got to get man. Whoa, he has 30. Oh yeah,
bro.
336,000 views on one of his videos.
Dude, you want to hear something? I thought we were putting up views, man. Honestly, and I was talking to my sister this weekend, and dude, her TikTok's getting like 1 million views, and I'm like, what are you posting on your TikTok? That my sister, I don't even know what her TikTok name. Don't go look up my sister, but she was like posting on her TikTok, and like, man, I was telling OC, she's like, oh yeah, she's been doing a great job. And did one of hers had like over 1 million views? I was like, what does our IndianaMat ones get? Not that.
No, not that. No, not at all.
And it was like her talking about like her like 2 car seat ratchet, and I'm like, what is this?
You never know what. Well, it's gonna. I had a TikTok that went crazy viral, and it was a very unique one. So
I put in the wrong name. I was like, this is not my sister. She doesn't have my last name anymore. That actually helped.
So you have to send it to me. So yeah, last half bracket we're going to talk about, starting with the returning state champion Cameron Hazlett. Been battle tested. I mean, you go look at his wins against the field. It's 2 lines. That's a good thing if you get 2 lines. And sometimes some of those are really long names. He's beaten Harder Road 1, 2, twice. McNeil, Redmond, Nelson. So he's had a good season. He has A.W. Van Kirk from Hamilton Southeastern, sophomore. I didn't realize he was only a sophomore. Now 2 sophomores battling out at heavyweight for a medal. Obviously, Hazlett's going to be a heavy favorite. Keenan Mowry Shields. Going by just Keenan Mowry now, I think. I did change one of the things for that. He's returning state qualifier. He has Logan Smith, North Miami. Logan Smith took out fan favorite Diesel in the ticket round. So he's sets himself up with 2 juniors coming out with a match on Friday night. Should be a good one there. Obviously, like I said, North Miami qualified their 3 upper weights. So Hazlett's probably the favorite in this quarter.
Yeah, pretty good athlete. I haven't seen Logan Smith this year. Shout out to Logan Smith, unranked. I don't know why Keegan Maurer still doesn't have a ranking next
He's
to him.
13.
He is ranked.
Yes.
But Logan Smith. Shout out to North Miami again. Their big guys taking care of business. That's a good one though. Keegan Maurer Shields. I believe he lost to DeKellen Guard last year Friday night, right?
Yes.
So he'll be looking to punch a ticket. Cameron Hazlett. I heard a rumor through the grapevine. He almost got hit for a team point at weigh-ins. Don't do that, please. Like, I think it got wiped, but we don't want to see that. We want to see Cam go out there and compete. So that could be a good match. 2 good athletic kids. Cam's probably one of the best athletes, and he rocks the IndianaMat logo on his cell phone, same as me.
Nice.
So, we appreciate Cam's support. He's a good kid, man. I do like him.
Yep. I mean, he's gonna have his work cut out for him this weekend, for sure. So
it's a good weight, man.
So going down last quarter bracket, Grady Baker, Belmont, another one of those Belmont guys. A couple seniors they had punch our tickets. They've been knocking on the door the past couple of years and found a way and got it done. He has Manford Griffin Osborne of Terre Haute North, returning state qualifier. And then the bottom quarter bracket, Lucas Nelson, Michigan City. He is bus trained.
Truth.
Hey, punching your ticket to state. He's got, unfortunately, another great heavyweight with a great nickname, Catfish William Glessing, fan favorite. So, he got the fan favorite in the corner and the fan favorite on the mat. So, the fans are going to be happy in that match.
The winner of that match, the fans. Top part. Grady Baker, I thought he found a pretty good spot here. Obviously, 16-15. Of the spots that you could be in, like you want someone around the similar ranking. I know I talked about on the High School Wrestling Weekly. We're not going to go into any logos because I don't know if they're true or not. But actually, yeah, dude, I think I was, honestly. Got my shout out to my boys, right? Supporting girls wrestling. I was on the show last night talking about Grady Baker and the fellas, and they asked me a breakdown of like Lucas Nelson of Michigan City, but they gave me the business during the year when I did the show the first time. They said the judge was not happy with Grady's ranking. So throw the rankings out the window, doesn't matter. Now he's top 16. Manfred Osborne, guy that was at the state finals last year. So that could be a good matchup Friday night. And then obviously Catfish, we talked about how good he was. I talked about Catfish last night on the show too. If you go down and watch Take Me Down for 1,000, Catfish almost got him, bro. He almost got a G from Giorgio.
Nice.
Lucas Nelson, real tall heavyweight, moves really well. Got a great heavyweight coach. So I think anytime you have a coach in your room that understands how to, and obviously we've talked about it with Garrett and we've talked about it with Brownsburg. I know Cathedral used to have some really good heavyweight coach. I don't know if they're still there, and I haven't seen Cathedral as much this year. Tante obviously has always had success with some big guys. When you have guys in the room that have wrestled that weight and know how to like win at those weights, that helps a lot. And I said it last night. Bus is probably one of the most accomplished heavyweights that's come through South Bend in recent history. So He's not super old, right? Is he? He's not 30 yet, is he?
Oh man, was he 12 years? Uh,
Close. Got a baby, I know.
he graduated in 2018, so he's only 8 years out. So he's about 26, 27.
So, and he probably can still get. He looks like he can still get in there and roll around with the boys. So, I mean, it's just a game changer, man. We had it at IndianaMat with Sean Bagley. Like, if you got a guy that can go in there and wrestle with those guys and has competed at a high level with at that weight, I think that helps a lot. But catfish is tough, man. We saw it last year, and then he went out and just had a great summer. He had a lot of wins over a lot of guys in this field.
26. So yeah, he three-time top four placer at heavyweight. I can tell you that's not happened very often. I would say, above. I mean, at heavyweight, I can say there's probably less than 20, if that. I would might add that in there, but yeah, that's pretty cool. So
Yeah, and he's a dog, man. Dude had a
good
motor on
dude.
him too.
So, but he didn't even give me a compliment that I said some stuff about him last night. So he probably didn't even watch me. Probably doesn't like me. So
I didn't get to see all these comments, man. I was
focus.
I was locked in. I was locked in, guys. So
Yep.
if you had any questions in there, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So hey, a good episode tonight. We're only in about 2 hours. We're gonna go tomorrow night. The lower weights, obviously, are some of our fan favorites left early when they heard what weights we're going over. But so it should be I'm looking forward to heavyweight. I'm looking forward to these upper weights are really good. A lot of storylines. We just went over all the storylines. Not as many storylines with the team race. There's a few. The team race. There's a lot of storylines we're talking about tomorrow. As I said, we partnered a little bit. I guess we know a few people with the Aether stuff that it's kind of cool. They have some interactive brackets that you can do your own figure it out, and you can also click a link and it'll put in your pick'em brackets, so you can do that there. There's also a couple other ways that you can kind of do a cheat and fill out the bracket so you can see what it looks like, so you're not putting two guys on the city. You're not putting Glessing and Hazlett in the finals against each other because they can't make the finals against each other. So
I take everything I said about Austin Price back, bro. I didn't know he was gonna be here dogging people.
Man,
because if he's calling buses old, what does that make us, bro? What does that make us? Come on, man.
I'm not old. It's kind of weird because one of my wrestlers got inducted into the Wall of Fame this past weekend, and hence why I didn't get a lot of stuff done that I wanted to. And I'm like, man, he's like, oh crap. I go, how is he? Like, he's like 35. Like, I'm not. Oh, yes, I am. So,
not as surprised you thought you were, huh?
Yeah. So, oh man, him and Buss wrestled together. That's interesting.
I know it. Hey, you didn't think I knew that, man. I know. I remember Austin Price at the Harvest Classic. I was on the mic then too.
Yes. Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm younger than Joe and Justin Plank. Let's go.
Yeah. Jax W Star, whoever you are, we went over 150 and above, so you can rewind. It looks like you're on YouTube. You can rewind, rewatch. Some great talk. I'm excited for state, obviously. Don't forget, on Friday after the first session is over, we will be at the hangar. All the IndianaMat guys will be there. I'm going to get some food there. So we might have some pizzas and some appetizers. Not sure how much I'm getting, so get there early.
Are you gonna be bringing gear?
If I remember. Yes.
If you remember, because there was a lot of people asking for some gear this weekend, and I said, man, I don't have nothing on me. I think that's why I left. It wasn't that I wasn't able to see wrestling, because I was like, you know what? If I don't have gear here and everyone's asking me for, I got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Actually, my boy J Bone said he needs some gear. He's gonna hit you for a team point. I heard he's the king out in
Indiana.
He in the business. Hey man, I gotta say, I apologize to my guy Ray Pettit. J Bone hit me in the back. I knocked a drink into him, man. I felt bad. He was looking so crisp too. And then we had two head officials were dressed up pretty nice. I heard Chuck Barnett has a personal stylist now. So
the Coles worker there. That's
yeah, the Colts match tie and shirt. He said his wife told him it didn't match. He said I bought that as a combo. Um, and Elmer was looking good, man, and suited up. So we had good officials out of DC, man. Good job, guys.
Austin, there is only one backpack left right now, so and I'm not going to take that out because that's my backup to the one I have. Maybe I'll get some new ones made. Maybe we do need some new embroidered backpacks.
I got a backpack guy too, man. They put Crown Point Bulldogs right on it for you. No, we do have a backpack guy. It's pretty good, man. The backpack that we got for our I don't know if I'm breaking the stakes. If I bring that Crown Point Bulldogs one, people are gonna be trash talking me for real.
Yeah, but, the best was you had that at Al Smith, and I'm like, man, right there, you just showing out your.
That backpack's so good though. That's such a good backpack. It has so much storage. It was designed by the guy that runs our organization. They have a spot here in Crown Point. Not here in Crown. I live in Lowell, but in Crown Point. What is it called? I can't think of the name of it. It's gonna bother me. But they do the backpacks for our teams, man. They're really good.
I tell you what, I saw one of the Delta coaches had a. It must have been. I think it was. He said it was a team issued backpack. Very unique looking backpack. I think it was like a Gucci one or something. He was sporting it. He was wearing it proud. As he was walking out, I was like, "Oh, is that team issue?" He's like, "Oh yeah." So might want to look into those too. So
yeah, let me find this thing because it's gonna bother me.
So tomorrow night,
tell another funny story.
Yeah, tomorrow night we are going to rank best wrestling singlets. So we are going to get. I already know my number one.
I know my number one too.
Okay, is it a IndianaMat singlet?
It's not. We did not have a great.
You know what?
I know what it is. It took me a second. Bear Complex does really good backpacks, and they do like a lot of CrossFit stuff, so weightlifting belts and things like that. So the guy that runs our organization was a former Marine. He kind of helped develop these backpacks, and dude, they're amazing. And the guy over there, his name's Austin at Bear Complex. Did these backpacks. Now mine says Crown Point Bulldogs on it. We can get IndianaMat on it if you want, but they're really good. They're high quality.
That did look like a nice backpack, so maybe we'll be chatting, getting a few of them.
And he's a great dude, man. And he's pretty fit though.
Yeah, I do need something different because anytime I take mine and Rex and or Dana around, the probability of one of us grabbing the wrong backpack is very high, and getting home and like, man, I don't know why Rex has all this stuff in his backpack.
You opened it up and you just seen a whole bunch of Greeks, or not Greek stuff, but German language. You're like, oh no.
Yes. Like I can't even. So yeah, tomorrow night ranking the best singlets. That should be fun. Yeah, I was gonna say, some people I've noticed like Garrett has some doublets, and I've seen some pictures of the Brownsburg doublets. Those are kind of cool. I like Garrett's have pretty nice ones, and all of a sudden, I kind of thought people were just getting away from those, and a couple teams are starting to bring them back. They actually look pretty good. So shout out to those schools. Maybe we'll see them at state. No doublets on my top 5. I can tell you that much, even though I only know my number 1 right now. I actually know a few of them.
I got a few of them too, but doublets not on my list right now either.
Okay, so with that, we're gonna get out of here. Join us tomorrow night, and we will be talking more wrestling state finals. Check the website. We'll be updating the info center with articles and stuff. Working on getting that media guide out, and we will see you guys tomorrow.